you have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against a real prospect, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
A very good morning to you. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside the legendary Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
We look back on England's job done, warm-up friendly yesterday against New Zealand. Thomas Tuchel said there's more to come. And Anthony Gordon says the squad is full of positive vibes.
When you got this calibre of player in every position, you have to believe. But the thing that makes you believe the most is the togetherness, is the camaraderie off the pitch, which is the best I've been a part of in an England team so far.
Yeah, we'll look back on that game. David Sullivan has announced he's stepping down as co-chairman of West Ham. Jacob Steinberg, football reporter for The Guardian, says it will come as a relief for West Ham fans.
Become so unpopular with the club's fan base because of the way that he's done things, especially in the last few years, that's ultimately led to them going down this season into the Championship.
West Ham fans, you're welcome to share your thoughts on this. Is this a positive now moving forward? 1089 03717 223344. And Scotland ended their World Cup preparations with a 4-0 thrashing of Bolivia. But Steve Clarke says they're not quite there yet.
There's still a bit of work to be done. Some good moments today, but obviously some moments as well that I can see where we can do a little bit better.
Yeah, we're going to send the Tartan Army off to their first World Cup in 28 years over the course of this morning's show. Get nostalgic with us. Going back to 98, I remember just being a wee lassie on our summer holiday in Ireland, watching Scotland play Brazil, who went on to be in the final that year.
Yes, I was living there.
You were in Ireland at that time, yeah?
I was in France playing
of course, yeah.
and living from 94 to 2000. So I went to a number of games, especially at Marseille in the World Cup final.
You've got so many World Cup memories. I mean, I'm thinking to when I was 8, You're thinking back to the 70s from watching your first World Cup.
Yeah. I'm a young boy. I know I'm getting on a bit, but I was a young boy in 1970.
More experienced than ever, Tony Cascarino. You can share your nostalgia with us this morning. 81089 03717 223344 is the number. Give us your World Cup memories. Go on. And we've also got the French Open finals to discuss, Gallagher Prem Rugby, England versus New Zealand in the cricket, and the Monaco Grand Prix. Lots to get into. Come and join us on the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. How was your day yesterday?
Yeah.
Football, weren't you?
Yeah, I was at football. My son was playing in a little tournament. He had 3 games. They lost 2, won 1. But it kept raining. Hammered down. It would look really clear, and then suddenly it hammered down, and it done it about 3 or 4 times yesterday morning.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
Oh, nice. We went to play golf yesterday just to have a wee potter around at Centurion. And
It's nice there, isn't it?
yeah, it's lovely. And it's just along the road for us, so it's so ideal. And we had a little knock around. I was terrible as usual. And the kids were soaked through. The dog looked like a rat at the end of it. But it was nice. It was nice to be out in the rain and out in the elements.
Yeah, well, as long as it's not too cold.
And that's the thing,
And
when
the
you get
wind.
wet, you get cold.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I had my old raincoat on, but took it off after about 5 minutes, then had it back on. I must have done that 3 times yesterday. But yeah, and also watched the derby, which was great.
Yeah.
Christmas Day won.
How fun is that?
Yeah, Christmas Day won, which was really good.
Christmas songs
Aidan
because of
O'Brien again.
Aidan O'Brien, what machine?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
machine.
That was great fun, and then caught up with the games later. And what a result for your Scotland!
I know. I watched the game. I was quietly impressed. I know it's a warm-up friendly. I know it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, of course it.
It does to a certain.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say that Scotland learned. I mean, look, Thomas Tuchel's got a much deeper depth of squad, obviously of higher talent. But there were some things that happened in the Scotland game that I felt is a lot to think about in a positive way for Steve Clarke, and that was Shea Adams alongside Shanklin up front. You know, and I thought the pair of them looked like they sort of forged some sort of partnership. And would, Steve go that way in the World Cup finals? Because Shanklin looked like he was playing for Hearts. Just dropped in, like he's followed on from his season he's had, the way he's playing. He's got a good header after 5 minutes. And I thought the set-up play was really good by Scotland.
That's the thing when it comes to these warm-up friendlies. I don't think we're in such a position to not take it seriously, because we do have an ambition to come out the group. It's never been done before. We've got the opportunity against the likes of Haiti to take all 3 points and score a number of goals. But when it comes to England and that performance last night, considering Thomas Tuchel knows exactly what it's all about, there was so much focus on the conditions, and you could see in the first 5 minutes the players were feeling the heat. But when you've been able to play, say, kind of like 2 teams of 11 and only score 1 goal against New Zealand, I thought that's not good enough.
No, look, it's a tough one because I said yesterday it didn't really matter the result for England. It was all about acclimatisation. It was all about getting used to the conditions. And also, I mean, I'm not being funny, but that was a poor pitch they were playing on. Now, I go to Premier League games regularly. Okay, nearly every weekend I'm at a Premier League game. And the pitches are immaculate. That pitch looked dead. It looked slow. It looked like a horrible surface to play on. And I'm not making excuses for England. And it made it a bit of a dull game. Yeah. Also, New Zealand, if they'd have had any intentions of being a little bit ambitious, they'd have opened up the game slightly. By the way, New Zealand got beat 4-0 by Haiti last week in a friendly. I don't know what it was like. I didn't watch it. But, they might have just gone a little bit more reserved. So, look, England was... There's still some good things in there. I think Rio and Gamoa coming on in the second half was interesting, even though he's not in the full squad. I thought he was interesting the way he played. I thought Elliot Anderson, when he came on, again, added a bit more to England. Bellingham showed that he's still a player. So I didn't understand. What I didn't understand, and this is probably my harshest critic of Thomas Tuchel, why are you playing Ollie Watkins on the right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that. For me, that didn't help Ollie at all. He's ended up doing the good old thing of being a great pro, asked to do a job and play there. And I thought, that's not Ollie Watkins out on the right.
I'd seen that going around on social media as well last night. Some England fans feeling the exact same. After the game, Thomas Tuchel told our England correspondent, Fake and others, that although the conditions weren't ideal, they are heading in the right direction.
The pitch was not good, especially not for the team who has the ball and wants ball speed and wants to dominate. Was very, very difficult. But that's what it is. We lacked a bit of precision in finishing, but it will come. It will come. I'm convinced. The most important is that we have the minutes in our legs. We're not the only one who now struggle with the results. Spain struggled, France struggled. So that this is. It's still a win, it's still a clean sheet, and the energy and atmosphere is right, and we will get better for sure.
I mean, it's not going to be the same, you would hope, in their first game for England, but I just found that so meh, you know, and I get it, Cass, and you'll know more than me, when a pitch is that bad and, you know, players are trying to protect themselves, take care of themselves, but you're playing a team who are ranked 85th, they're the lowest ranked team in the tournament. Give us a bit of something to be excited about. 1-0. That is enough to put me to sleep.
I don't think it matters really at all about the result.
It shouldn't matter, but I think it kind of does.
Well, if you look back over the last week or so, Shebahn, there's been a number of results that have been, you know, many European teams have had their struggles and their woes. So I wouldn't. I mean, Algeria give France a bit of a game in midweek, and you know, and France are a really strong side. But that happens. I think we can only go down the line of when they start the tournament, what they're like. And I do agree with Thomas Tuchel. I just said it. The pitch was awful. I mean, it wasn't a pitch you'd want to be playing on week in, week out. And there's no way on earth that would be I would hope, a pitch that would be used in the World Cup finals. It was embarrassing.
Well, we knew that going into the game. We knew that the pitch was a bit of an issue for them. He'd focused on it. He'd looked at it. He'd spoken it in the pre-match press conference, hadn't he, that the pitch was a bit of a mess. What did you think about them playing in the conditions? Because you could see that it was that kind of laboured intensity at the start of the game for some of them getting to grips with the heat.
Well, yeah, some of them will struggle more than others. We had that conversation yesterday, didn't we? With the physio, the ex-physio of Aston Villa coming on. So we had that chat. I'm not too concerned because some players will need it more than others. I thought Jed Spence fitted in the left back position and made a great ball for Kane to do what Kane does. There will be some disappointed fans. It wasn't a great watch. I didn't particularly enjoy it, but it's doing a job before you start the World Cup.
It is what it is.
I don't know. You know, I played in some terrible games before we played 90 and 94 World Cup, before we went to the actual tournament. There was, I mean, if anyone would have watched Turkey versus Ireland before we played in 90, you'd have gone, well, I'm never watching that. That's the worst 90 minutes of my life. It's literally nothing happened. It was boiling hot, 12 o'clock midday, and there we were playing Turkey. And it was a struggle, especially for us, more than them, because it was in Turkey.
Yeah.
In the summer.
Yeah. England fans, you can let us know your thoughts. What did you think of that yesterday? 81089 is the text number. Every game of the World Cup, and those results will matter, are live here on the talkSPORT network. Coming up for you next, we'll bring you more World Cup preview action and ask whether the favourites who are will dictate the tournament. You listen to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT.
Crookie, what about Elliot Anderson? We're led to believe that opening bid from City has been knocked back from Forest. Is it just a case of a matter of time this one getting over the line?
I think so, and again, no surprise that City have tried to make their move early. We were told at talkSPORT a couple of weeks ago that in an ideal world, Elliot Anderson's future would be sorted before he kicks his first ball for England at the World Cup. Obviously, City are trying to get this one done. We know that Evangelos Marinakis can be a difficult negotiator. Just ask Tottenham and Morgan Gibbs-White from this time last year. But all the information I have is that City have always been Elliot Anderson's preferred choice, despite the fact there's also interest from Manchester United. This is a deal I do expect to happen. And again, it comes back to what we said at the start of the section. Real Madrid and Rodri, if they get Elliot Anderson in, could the time be right to cash in on Rodri, who clearly hasn't been the same player since returning from injury as he was before?
Crookie, I've got some breaking news. I've heard from my sources at Aston Villa that Morgan Rogers is staying. Is that correct, mate?
we shall see, Gabby. Listen, the interest from Arsenal is genuine. I'm told that there have been early discussions between Arsenal and the Morgan Rogers camp, and I think if a huge bid comes in, I'm talking 80 to 100 million pound, then Villa, with their financial limitations, might well have to sell.
Middlesbrough get 20%, don't they, Crookie, as well?
They do as well, yeah. So that.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. But when I see you hanging about with anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry.
This takes you back, doesn't it?
That's brilliant.
This has got to be 98.
It's not
Is it 98?
to go out at any time.
98? Well, the actual song.
1960 something?
Yeah.
Why are we playing it?
I would say, I'd say more maybe 66, 67, I would say. But,
65.
65?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the big man's birthday today.
Is it really?
Yeah,
What is it,
indeed.
Tom? He's obviously in his 80s. What did you say? Did you say his name? Number? 85?
He's 86.
86, right. Ah, he's been brilliant. I mean, what a voice.
God, yeah. That's so funny. You think back to when you were young and just how much my parents must have listened to Tom Jones. Because he was always on in the house. Always.
Yeah, well, I've got a friend who, married into the Welsh family, and they all could sing.
Oh,
And that, so every time they had a party, it was just brilliant. And also would hire a mimic of Tom Jones. Because there's many Tom Jones out there, by the way, that get paid to go out to events and, can perform brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. When
Quiet now, isn't he?
Sorry?
Quiet now.
Well, yeah, I would imagine his voice would not be the same, obviously getting into your 80s. But there's some greats. Tony Bennett, he kept going for years and years and years, and then suddenly you didn't hear anything from Tony Bennett for quite a while, really. Frank Sinatra took quite a bit of time off at times.
Suppose they're going to need it. Happy birthday, Tom Jones. 81089 is the text number. Morning to Lewis, the Carlisle fan. He says it feels like we have the same conversation every time there's a major tournament. Last night did not matter at all. Still more things to come from this side. Oh, well, Lewis, I would blooming hope so. Because that was pants.
Yeah, well, it didn't.
Cass, don't try and defend it. It was
I'm not trying to defend it, but I'm not saying
energy.
Hold it, Shebahn. You've got to be careful here because the tournament hasn't even started, right? Okay, it'll all come to we'll see what teams do in the next few weeks. And by the way, I'm looking at teams. I was looking last night at how many teams played in the Euros finals. How many do you reckon in 1988? How many teams played in the Euro final? And it was in West Germany. How many?
I don't know.
What do you think?
3.
We've got 48.
4.
No,
8.
8 teams. 8 teams played in the Euro final of '88. So
there was just 8 teams in it.
8 teams. Yeah, 8 teams were in the finals. And World Cups in years gone by only had, you had very limited numbers in comparison to where we are today, and there's 48 now.
Yeah. I just expected a bit more. That's it. I know it's just a warm up. I know it doesn't mean anything, so my opinion shouldn't mean anything. But I just thought that was just pure Snorville.
Yeah,
the ship in the corner of the pitch.
I must be honest. I did doze off for a little bit.
Yeah. It's just is what it is. Whereas I think Scotland.
You didn't doze off to Scotland though, did you?
No, of course not. Because they started with something that I want to see that maybe they could bring to the tournament.
It was a much better performance, but I must be honest. But look, it's what it is, and I don't know how to frame it any other way.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I still think that considering the hype that it goes into a build up, and it will dominate the show yesterday. It dominates everything, and then you watch that and you're like, God, that's just pointless for everyone involved.
See,
apart from the fact that acclimatising.
It's a question for you, right? And if I answered you honestly, and I talked about games we played prior to major tournaments, and I look back and even the players at that time sort of dreaded it. It's like it wasn't the tournament.
Yeah.
It was preparation for a certain way. And I'm sure if you ask the players, who played last night, the England boys, and most of them would be quite laid back about it and not really think too deeply because you can't.
I know.
They won't remember it, or they'll remember the game, but not much more than acclimatising.
You wonder then if they had played a game at altitude, would they have adjusted a little bit more by now? Would have helped them in this situation.
The trouble is the way the season ended and the amount of players that were, playing in finals, and it just couldn't be any other way. There was no time to go a little bit earlier to America.
Yeah. Shebahn, please don't drag us all down to the level of noticing the bitter Scot attitude to England's performance. It's better to just, what would you call it? I'm not going to dance for you. It was terrible. Anyway, as Cass mentioned, 48 teams with varying expectations preparing to face their day of destiny as the World Cup gets underway this week. 12 groups of 4. The top 2 plus 8 third place sides into the last 32. So 16 will go out at the group stage.
Yeah.
Is it just too easy now, Cass, to qualify?
Well, I'd love to say that, but the Republic of Ireland didn't qualify. We didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Denmark didn't qualify. Italy didn't qualify. But yes, it's way too easy. If you think of how you qualify now and the amount of back doors you can get into a tournament, whether it's via the Nations League like Sweden did, it's too easy. Yeah, and it's easy to get out of your group now as well. Much easier. You've just said there, 48 teams, 16 to get eliminated. So you've got obviously the first 2 of every of all the 12 groups. The first 2 will go through. There's 24. Then you've got the 8 third places of 8 groups.
Yeah.
So it's easy. Yeah, it's much easier because there's some very poor teams that will be there. That's for sure. That But there's 2 ways of looking at this. If you want to expand football and you want to grow football and you give countries of different, the infrastructure to create a side and produce better football elsewhere in the planet, then you can go, well, yeah, you can justify 48 teams. But it's way more easier than it used to be. Curacao, I looked at, I thought they would be the lowest ranked team, just sort of in the Caribbean, But then again, they could be a joy. We could talk about them afterwards.
Yeah, Curacao ranked 82 in the world, Haiti 83, and New Zealand 85th. So yeah, they're in a World Cup. When you've
They're
got
in a
such
World
low
Cup.
rankings, you know.
That's a massive thing. I mean, I spent some time in Tahiti, which is French Polynesia, and they've always been in the group with New Zealand, the Oceania group, and they found it very, very difficult to qualify. But there's been loads of investment in football in Tahiti, which is the plus side. That it does expand and give opportunities to countries that don't have these opportunities on a regular basis. So I'm sort of divided on some things, but I can't deny it's way easier now to qualify and get through your first group.
Okay. Nobody can deny that. Listen, lots of you saying not bothered about England's results last night. Good morning to Adam saying, I'm not bothered about the result, but it makes me laugh that you chose to watch the England game over the Scotland game. I didn't watch the Scotland game and then I watched the England game, and it's my job, Adam, so that's why I have to do that as well. But Cass, what's your favourite World Cup memory of all time? Even if you weren't a player, but as a wee boy, what would you say is your...
Well, I played in two, so I'll ignore... I'm not ignoring them, but as a fan and watching... I tell you what, the two World Cups, and I think Mexico City have had the two best World Cups, and because if you go back to 1970 when I was a little boy, and I first watched Italy versus Brazil in the finals, was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then in '86 that happened again because Mexico City was where Argentina beat West Germany in the final. That was incredible. And that's a really big memory for me. But I also think 78 in Argentina was a great World Cup. I can remember all the paper flying around and all that, just all that side of it. And it was just an incredible atmosphere it felt in South America at that particular time. And then I was 78, I was 16.
Wow.
So, for me, and now I'm sort of going back from being I'm a teenager watching football and playing decent football myself, so yeah, I loved it. But there's been, I think, so many World Cups have been great because it's every 4 years. There's so much. I even go back to Qatar. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Now, I was hesitant before I went because of obviously certain issues, and it was so smoothly run out there that I enjoyed it. And one day I went and watched 3 games. So I saw West Germany, Japan in one day. I saw England in a day, and I saw Brazil in the same day. In one day, I saw 3 different games. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to do that in America, Canada, and Mexico.
Yeah.
But what about you? Come on, you must have some great memories.
Well, in terms of being from Scotland, I remember '98 being 8 and being on my summer holiday, and there was this man who used to help my nanny and auntie with like the kind of farm, and he took us to get a sweetie. And watching a bit of the tiny TV and seeing France in the final. Yeah. But I don't remember Scotland playing. No. I don't remember it at all. Could watch it back, but can't remember watching Scotland in the group at the game. And it's just amazing now that it's been so long, generations where we haven't been able to see Scotland at a World Cup. So I think it's incredibly exciting. And maybe that's why we're a little bit buzzed over last night's performance, even though it doesn't mean anything.
No.
It is exciting to know that we're going to a World Cup because we haven't seen this in years. No. A long, long time. Listen, out to you this morning then, 81089. Share your nostalgic best World Cup memory with us. Let us know what it is, where you were, what it meant to you. And looking ahead to another World Cup. It's nice to do that, isn't it? Mexico versus South Africa. The first game of the World Cup is live on talkSPORT this Thursday, 7 p.m. Kick-off at 8. Coming up next, we'll look back in last night's action in Tampa. Hold on to your seat. It was a cracker. This is the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT.
Let's talk about the World Cup then in a bit more detail. England, of course, touched down in America ahead of the competition. Let me get your views on the squad. Lots of players that a lot of people should have been in it weren't. Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Gibbs White, Adam Wharton, Trent, of course, Harry Maguire being another one. What have you made of the squad and the players that aren't going?
All of them players are the real technicians, Adam Wharton, Foden, Cole Palmer, Trent. And Trent. So my opinion personally is the majority of them players should have gone, because I think that holding the ball in a World Cup is the most crucial thing, and being that team. But Thomas has gone the other way. Thomas, you can see he's picked by the team he's picked. It's going to be a sort of low to mid block, and he's going to look for counter-attacking football, right? So personally, I would have done it differently, but I like the fact that he's picked the type of players for his style of football that he thinks going to do it. And like, we're still a week gone from the squad, and we're still talking about the players not there. I'm almost like, listen, nobody would have picked now 26 players that Thomas would have picked. So we'd all have a disagreement somewhere. It's done now. That it's history. Like, this is the way we're going, and I like the fact he's just strong enough to go, I want these players, and these are the players that are going to do it for me.
It's a crazy one, because for me, I understand what you're saying there, but the Gibbs White one to me just doesn't make any sense. You know, when you're trying to rack your brain, he has been unbelievable this season, and even the way he ended the season, he probably ended the season better than he started it. And the fact he's not going.
Good morning, welcome along to talkSPORT Weekend Sports Breakfast. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino, taking you back to 98, June 98.
Yeah.
That's my number.
Great World Cup. I was lucky. As we go along the show and we're in all memories, I'll give some of my memories of actually being in two of them. Obviously Italy and the USA in 94.
That's funny, we did an event together not too long ago with yourself and
Dean Saunders.
Dean was there, Ray was there, Frank McAvenny was there. And you
Ray
were like,
Parler, yep.
Maybe the only one who's actually played at World Cup. Amazing to have those memories, Cass. Looking forward to hearing them today on the Weekend Sports Breakfast. Some of your other headlines: 19-year-old Mira Andreeva claimed her first ever Grand Slam title with a dominant 6-3, 6-2 victory in the final of the French Open against Maya Walinska. Well done to her. Wales are still without an away friendly win in 18 years after Craig Bellamy's side were defeated 2-1 in Romania. And after a laboured 1-0 victory over New Zealand, England boss Thomas Tuchel spoke to talkSPORT's Faker Others and says There needs to be some perspective when analysing last night's game.
Not the moment to doubt and to put everything in question. I think you need to put it into perspective. Like I said, Harry played last time for us in November, and a lot of them played last time for us in November, and today was like two very new teams. Each half it takes a while. So I saw good stuff in training. The guys are fully committed, and we will get better.
Okay, so he feels positive about it after the 1-0 win against New Zealand last night. Can I just mention, by the way, some form he's in. He's really light. His energy's good.
Yeah.
He's pretty much full of smiles. He seems like a really warm character.
Yeah, I think he's very optimistic about England's chances.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like that from the way he's talking, the way he's reacting. He's not getting upset with anybody. You know, some journalists do get to some England managers. We've seen it in the past. But he seems it can change pretty quickly if you don't get results.
Of course it can. Let's look back in it now in a bit more detail. Former England defender Warren Barton is with us now. Good morning, Warren. How are you?
Hi, Warren.
I'm very well. Hi, guys. How are you?
Yeah, good. Warren, just sort of, I said at the start of the show, I couldn't believe how poor the pitch was. As in, you know, we get spoilt, you Premier League games, they're immaculate now, not like the days when we played, Warren. But I was actually surprised at the condition of it looked really slow.
Yeah, I think also as well with Florida, they get torrential rain, so that's going to make the field really slow. But I think when you're going to get to the big games in, you know, whether it's in Boston, Philadelphia, Chicago, sorry, not Chicago, in Dallas, the fields will be a lot better. I think that's a field that's been used to playing football on there, American football. It's not going to be maintained that well, but I think it will get better. You know, Harry Kane mentioned it wasn't the greatest surface, it wasn't the greatest performance, but I think it just shows if we don't have him in the team that we are going to struggle a little bit.
I mean, look, so many people will see it as a training ground exercise, and I've sort of defended it going to World Cups, and you know that you cannot risk injury. I know it's simplistic just to say that, but to get involved in a really high intensity game is just a no-no.
Yeah, Tony, you know, to big tournaments or being involved in England games as well. You want to go into it, you know, with a lot of confidence, you know, making sure your condition is well. And, you know, the players have come off a big season and, you know, again, New Zealand are going to make it difficult for anybody who they're going to play against. And like Thomas Tuchel said, you can't read too much into it. They probably get more out of a training session than they would do in that game. I don't think that England are going to fly by everybody this tournament. I think they're just going to grind out. And I agree with you, Tony, where Thomas Tuchel is quite confident in just like, we get a result, we move on. We get a result, we move on. We'll be in the last 32, 16. I don't think we're going to be this flamboyant team that's going to beat teams 5, 6, 7-0. That ain't going to happen. I think they're just going to grind out results. And I think that you look at his team that he's picked in the squad, and I think that's what he's going to go with. But there's going to be tougher games ahead, obviously.
Like you say, Warren, it's not to be read too much into, but what did you coming away from the game last night feeling positive about?
I was positive beforehand as well. As I said, I think you look at the squad that he's picked, they're very much athletic, strong. He's left out some maverick players as well, but he's made sure that we're going to be difficult to break down, difficult to beat. We're going to outrun teams, going to be physical. The heat will be difficult. As Tony said, he played out here in 94, and it's going to be hot and humid in certain areas. But he's picked a team where they're going to grind out results. And, you know, they're not going to be flamboyant. It might rely, we see it with Arsenal winning a league on set pieces. Again, it doesn't matter at the end of the day how you get to a final or how you go and win a game, as long as we can try and get there. So let Brazil, let the other teams maybe go out and be more showboating about it, but just grind out results if they can.
Well, we was having a conversation before we come on air, and we was talking about the individual, of how important an individual like Maradona was in '86, and you had Zidane in '98. You know, and I'm not so sure the individual is going to be that big this time round. But if there is one player that has to shine for England to have any chance, it's going to be Kane, and I think that's blatantly obvious, Ron.
Yeah, and he's touched on point that he's in the best condition of his career. I think moving to Europe, you did that in your career. I think it's made him, you know, a better player, more educated about the game, more educated probably about himself and how you condition yourself, how the game is looked at through a different eyes. I've lived in America 18 years, and we've been so close to Mexico and Canada. All games are totally different, you know, whether it's domestic games or international games. I think him being away has made him realise a different perspective of how the game is played. I just want to bring one point up. Tone, me and you are talking about World Cups in 1970, 74, 78. Someone not too far from you next year is talking about World Cups in 98 when she was 8. I've got shoes older than her, by the way.
That's very fair. And I can barely remember it.
Making you feel old. Yeah, I was going to say that was even worse.
Listen, while we're
said that, I can't remember.
While we're on that subject, then, what's your favourite World Cup memory?
English, 1966, winning the World Cup. That's all we've got to hope for. That's the biggest memory we've had. So, no, I think I'm going to be calling the game against Korea and Czechia in the stadium where Gordon Banks made the save against Pelé. So that was a big moment. But I remember really 1978, the Argentina World Cup with a ticky tape, Mario Kempes as well scoring the goal. So that's really come to mind and showing my age. So I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah. What did you? Well, I wanted to ask you this, Warren, as well. What did you make of the two? I don't know if you had that when you were in camp and just before a tournament where you had two completely different teams in 45 minutes. So a certain 11 played in the first 45 and then a complete change in the second.
Tone, I got cut before my two major tournaments, so I was never lucky enough to be out there. I got cut in 96 and 98 as well. So, but yeah, I think it's always difficult. Spengler and Emerson started doing that many years ago where it was changing over. I think you lose momentum. I think it's difficult for the players that are still on there, that they're changing, and you just lose momentum of the game. And I think that added to yesterday's game. It added to pre-season games that we've had before. You never really get too much out of it. Like you said, you're just worried about not getting an injury. Can you maybe get a goal like Harry Kane? We've kept a clean sheet. Little positivities that you can take out of it, but nothing major until we start against Croatia. Then you start and obviously thinking about the tournament. But I'm like you, Tony. I'm not too worried about 45 minutes and if people get an hour and things like that. I think it takes the rhythm away.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to ask you, Warren, about what you're up to today. You still doing lots of workout in the States?
Yes, I'm enjoying the sunshine. If you can't realise by my face, I've been in the sun.
I did notice.
I know, Tone. I'm trying to tone it down a little bit, but it's difficult here where it's 364 days a year sunshine. So I've been out here 18 years. I'm going to be involved in the World Cup. This will be my third World Cup with Fox. Doing it with Jackie Oakley, who's fantastic to work with, and we have a good laugh and we do our job. She's fantastic at what she does. So yeah, looking forward to it. Traveling all over, going to have my first game in Guadalajara, then I go up to Vancouver, then I'm in San Francisco. So looking forward to it, Tone. Qatar was brilliant because everything was an hour away and you was back in your hotel, relaxed. But this one, I'm going to be getting plenty of air miles, and that's why I've got a little bit of sunshine today, just to make you jealous, because I need to get a bit of a tan on.
You're making us jealous. It's been absolutely
you know me, Tone. I go pink as well. I'm not really one of them brown people. I go pink.
I was going to say, do you want a red face? Do you want a red face? No, thanks. I've got one.
I'm going to put my towel on just in case. It's the same colour.
That's the representative of what the Scotland team are going to look like in another few days. Listen, Warren, thanks very much for coming on. Good luck, enjoy the tournament, and send our love to Jackie as well, won't you?
Yeah. Cheers, Warren.
Thank you very much for having me. Take care, guys.
All the best for England defender there, Warren Barton. He does look like he's been in the...
Yeah, he's been there a long time. Warren has done a great job, obviously keeping himself in punditry, and when you go somewhere and you end up staying, imagine when you were playing football, you end up thinking, I'm going to end up living in America and going to work there for 18 years.
Yeah, that's it.
What an opportunity. That's what sport can give you.
Hi to somebody here, no name, to Shebahn and Tony, love your shows. 1982 World Cup in the lounge with my parents,
winning it.
With my brother. Brian Robson scores. I jumped up and knocked the ceiling lamp clean off. Great days.
Brian Robson scored against the French. I think it was something like 13 seconds, something ridiculously low. It was inside the first 30 seconds. It was a very low... I don't know if it's still the fastest going World Cup finals, but it's definitely up there.
We're taking your World Cup memories from when you were a wee one, or more and more recently. You can share them with us. 810 03717 223344 is the number if you want to give us a bell. It's easy for me to think back 98. There's only one time we can think about Scotland at a World Cup that I can remember.
You were in the World Cup in the 70s.
That I can remember. But if you remember the 70s in Scotland being...
Archie Gemmell.
Share your thoughts with us. You listen to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Back pages with Sam coming up next.
to be considered a big club, like the likes of Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea.
What, Man City's bigger than Arsenal?
Well, in Europe they are. They've won the competition.
Cool, they won. But what are we saying? Are we talking about trophies, or are we talking about?
I'm talking about dining at the top table with all the big heads that have won it. Do you think you need?
What? So we're only basing this on Europe. So if you win the European Cup, that means you're a big club
in Europe.
Well, are we not going off all the trophies that we've won?
We haven't won that many.
We've won
Arsenal. Are you joking?
Well, okay, take FA Cups out of it.
No, forget FA Cups. Leagues.
You can include it.
We've won more Premier Leagues than Liverpool.
I know, but I'm just saying. My question is: do you think you need to win Europe's biggest competition to be considered a big club?
No, because I think we are one of the biggest clubs in the world anyway, and that'll just be a cherry on top.
We are. I don't think you're in the top 10.
You what? Idiots. Are you talking about your local pub, or are you talking about the world?
You're certainly not in the top 5.
In the world?
Yeah.
No, look.
Okay, hold on. I'll ask you a question.
I would agree with that.
Honestly.
I would agree with that.
There you go.
Top 5
There
in
you
the
go.
world.
Real Madrid, Barca, Bayern,
Man United,
See
Liverpool.
this Real Madrid stuff. They're not the draw they used to be, bro. I'll be honest with you. Around the world,
they're bigger than Arsenal.
In Spain, maybe.
No.
I would have to say, yeah,
There you
fine.
go. You agree with me?
Okay, listen. They're more. They've been.
Do you agree with me?
They've been more successful.
Do you
than
agree
us.
with me?
They've
You're not
been
in
more
the-
successful than us.
And that means they're
in terms
bigger.
of popularity or bigger club right now in the world.
Yeah.
In the world.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
In the world.
You were doing so well up to that
I've
point.
not seen a club be
Are Arsenal
celebrated.
bigger than Real Madrid right now?
Good morning, it's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and Republic of Ireland's Tony Cascarino.
Yeah. Can you say, like, the Proclaimer singer there who says Luke? Look. You know we say look.
Look.
But I like the way the Scottish say look. Luke. It's really...
Look.
I think you make it longer, don't you, the word Luke? It's very, very good.
It's funny because I actually think that the English accent drags out, because you know people say you speak too fast. I don't understand what you're saying. English accent really drags out the words.
Yeah.
You know?
You know.
Like, you know. It's like, crack on with it, you know? Not got all day. Loving it. I love that we just go another hour away and the accent completely changes.
Well, I always found it amazing that, say, like Manchester and Liverpool, right? How far are they apart? 35, 40 mile max?
Yeah.
Right? The accents are so different from Scouse to Mancunian.
Mm-hmm.
How in that short a distance?
How?
I don't know. I mean, look, you can still look at London. You can go East London, South London, which is sort of similar, but if you know the East, you'll recognise it's an East London.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, West London is, again, different, and that's a short... But it's not like the difference of Scouse and Mancunian.
Totally different accents. Mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? You are sending us your lovely World Cup memories. It's actually really sweet, actually. 1986, I was 9, Gary Lineker with a bandage on his hand. All the kids at the playground were wearing bandages on their hands. Great times. Them Chris and Grimsby. That's a nice message. That's exactly what we're looking for. Morning to Shannon. She says, hi, Shebahn and Tony. Don't worry, Shebahn. You're not the only person whose first memory is France 1998. 10 years old. Remembering the Michael Owen wonder goal and then crying my eyes out watching Beckham getting the red cards. This year I'll be making new memories. I have 20 colleagues from Ghana. This year we'll all be watching the game together. I just hope we don't lose, or this will be getting too costly. Shannon, thanks very much for your message. Very, very sweet. Coming up for you today here on talkSPORT. Sunday edition, Sean Custis and Darren Lewis with you this morning here on talkSPORT. Then 12 o'clock, the warm-up with Max Rushton and Barry Glendenning. Always good fun. And then hanging out with you at 2 o'clock this afternoon, it's Sam Ellard with the Sunday session. We've got updates from the Monaco Grand Prix and day 4 of the first test between England and New Zealand. 6 o'clock, the final word with Madge and Pards. And then the Trans-Euro Express from 9, Kevin Hatchard and Andy Brassell. All to come for you. And it's time now for this. Samuel.
Yeah, it's app today because in a couple of days' time, Shebahn, we're off to Charlotte, aren't we? And I will be 13 and a half hours away from my wife in Australia.
Oh, you're closer to her then when you go away.
Yeah. Well, in terms of time difference.
then.
Time difference, to quote Max Rushton. Yes, we are 13 and a half hours.
Does she know you're seeing Charlotte?
Thank you. Yeah. Don't you start those rumours. I'll tell you that much. No, all is good. But we, yes, it's just it's going to be difficult. Back ends of the day, I'm going to have to talk to her in the night, and she's going to have to, her morning.
How big's the difference?
13 and a half hours.
13 and a half.
Yeah.
I didn't hear
It's
that.
a long time. Long time. So it's, it's amazing.
And what is it at the moment then?
At the moment, it is 9.5 or 8.5, depending on summertime and all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
that's a weird one on the time difference, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it can
Because
be
there's the half
half
hours.
hours. Yeah.
But apparently there's some time difference of 15 minutes.
Really?
What's the
Yeah,
point of
on a
that?
particular islands off of New Zealand and Australia.
Oh, right.
There's like a 15-minute one. You Googleize it.
Googleize that, Sam.
I will do.
You wouldn't mind?
I'll come back in and probably do some back pages a bit later on as well, or some more stories from the papers. But I would like to share my World Cup memory with you.
Go for
today.
it, yes.
Because actually, Cass, it comes from the tournament that you starred in. I was 9 in 1994.
Right.
So and the thing that I most
Starred
remember-
in?
Well, I say starred in. I was being generous because I know you're injured for it, weren't you?
I was
I know that
injured,
you were part of the squad. So
Yeah,
to say, in
and I
94.
did play a part, but a very small part because of injury.
I vaguely remember Ray Houghton's goal against Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Fantastic. But the thing that jumps out at me, and I've always wondered why I'm such a big fan of a diving header. You must like a diving header. You're a big, big front man of a diving header.
Yeah.
And Jordan Lechkov's header for Bulgaria against
Yes.
Germany. Which
Played
knocked
with
them
him
out.
at Marseille.
Did you?
Yeah. He joined Marseille that year. I was at Marseille in 94 and Jordan Lechkov signed.
There you go. That's amazing. That's great. I love that. I feel connected.
The year after,
more
I think
connected to you than ever now.
Yeah,
Cass, after that.
I met he was in the same hotel me. I asked
But
him.
what a great header that was, by the way.
I asked him one day, just a general question when he first arrived, and I said, "Why did you join Marseille?" Didn't mean it in any other, and he just pointed at the sun. Didn't work out well for him.
No,
he had a really rough time.
Yeah,
because he literally pointed to the sun to me, and I was like,
What does that
looked
mean?
it up. What is that? And meaning beautiful weather,
still gonna
and,
say
and
something
where,
there, yeah.
but he played like he didn't play nothing like he did for Bulgaria.
Really? Yeah, 'cause he was a player for
and he was
Bulgaria.
you could see he was a terrific player.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't quite work for
It
him.
didn't work for him at all. That season, Marseille struggled.
But another player that kind of is memorialised, remembered, whatever you want to call it. He's not dead, obviously, but I don't think he is anyway. But no, I mean remembered for his World Cup exploits. There's always players in there down the years who did
Yeah,
something
you're right.
amazing on the world stage, and that's what they're remembered for. That header against Germany stands out so vividly in my head for that particular tournament. And it wasn't like in the final; it was just one of those lasting memories that sticks with you. And I think the World Cup does that, doesn't it? It
Absolutely,
has things that just
Sam.
live with you for whatever reason over the years.
Everyone will have an incredible memory of a World Cup because they're so special. And I actually think it makes it more special because it's every 4 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I don't want one of these biennial World Cups.
Yeah.
You know, keep it special, keep it rare, keep it the thing that we get to.
Well, that's the
build up
Olympics
to.
thing, isn't it? When the Olympics is 4 years.
Yeah.
It makes it special.
But there was a chat for a while that we're going to be every 2 years.
Yeah,
Wasn't
Arsene
there
Wenger
that?
wanted to bring it and make it every
Wenger
2
wanted
years.
that.
That's right.
It was
Yeah.
fairly recently as well. But Dean Ashton mentioned it yesterday, and I thought, oh yeah, that's the point of this. Like this entertainment, why we fall in love with a sport.
Yeah.
You know, that's why hearing people's memories is so nice today, because it brings out the child in you. Because we all remember watching our first World Cup.
Yeah,
Cash remembers playing in them. We remember watching them.
I watched the 2002 World Cup in my school assembly, would you believe? Because it was a morning kickoff. So it was the one in South Korea, Japan.
And the schools are
So it
allowed
was
to
all,
get
they let you in
involved.
and let everyone sit gathered around watching the big screen of those primitive days in 2002 watching it. It's amazing, really.
So is all this in the papers?
No,
I preferred this chat, to be honest.
later.
Because there's nothing in the papers. I mean, back pages, everlasting love about Thomas Tuchel and Eze. I mean, that's just a slow news day. Not one bit of Scotland on that back page. by the
Well,
way.
exactly. I know.
Not one bit,
time of the game.
Not one bit of England to do with
Where's the
game.
record? Where's the daily
It's
record?
all a bit outdated, to be honest.
We'll do some stuff later on. David Moyes has some interesting things to say, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
I've got time now. I'll come back in later on. We'll do some stuff on that. I want to talk to you a bit about Russell Martin potentially going to Leicester.
Yes, I saw that
as well, which is
story.
very interesting.
Yeah.
And a little bit about the drinks breaks and what they're going to be used for.
There's
the
3
World
of
Cup.
them, isn't there now? Is there 3 in a game?
2, I think, isn't there? Isn't there? Is there 3?
I got told there was 3.
One each
Well,
half.
I thought
the 2
obvious
PM
one in each
kickoff?
half.
The 2 o'clock kickoffs.
Yeah.
Aren't they just
No,
3
sorry,
minute
5 p.m.
drinks
kickoffs.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I imagine you think at the height of the
Also, there's
sun.
going to be drink breaks in the final in extra time, isn't there? In the knockout stages.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense to break it up, but I think it just means that the games are going to feel so fragmented, aren't they? It's going to be like American football.
And is it good for them? Is it bad for them?
How long before the adverts come on during?
That's it.
Well, they'll be running throughout, right?
Anyway, the back pages will come later.
Lovely, Sam. Thank you very much. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Keep your nostalgia coming in, your memories of your World Cup moments. Share them with us this morning on Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT.
I remember going back a couple of years when he was linked with a move to Real Madrid, and Bournemouth fell off a cliff after that because he seemed to be sort of wavered by what happened with the attention that came his way when the big boys came calling. So he's got to almost mature himself. Let's a couple of years down the line, maybe he will be able to handle it a little bit better this time around. But if Liverpool had any reservations, I would imagine that that would be one of them. Bournemouth finished sixth last season, 1 position and 3 points behind Liverpool in the league. They qualified for next season's Europa League. What represents success for Andoni Iraola this time around, Crook?
It's a brilliant question. Winning the title, I guess, would be the aspiration, because Arne Slot achieved that in his first season. Jurgen Klopp won it as well. So I think that there'll be the high standards that he'll be asked to try and achieve. Obviously, the bare minimum is Champions League football. And in fairness, Arne Slot did achieve that, but they can't afford to lose the number of games that they did last season. Actually, if you go
over the years, we've been treated to some amazing exhibition events in sports. Some become iconic, but many fail to live up to the hype. So what are some of the most anticlimactic exhibitions? Technically, it wasn't an exhibition because it ended up being sanctioned as a pro fight, but it basically was. 2024 saw Mike Tyson return to the ring to fight YouTuber Jake Paul. The event, which Paul won, was streamed by 65 million people on Netflix, making it the most streamed sporting event ever at the time. But many complained of buffering and freezing. And as for the fight itself, well, it was considered an entertaining disaster. I mean, it wasn't prime Tyson. He was 58. And after the fight, Paul, who was 27 at the time, said he'd actually gone easy on Tyson towards the end. Now, Mayweather-McGregor in 2017 was a better watch, despite Mayweather going rope-a-dope early on, but it was way too expensive. Pay-per-view was 75 quid, and in the stadium, the cheapest ticket was over 370. Now, this next one you could have watched for free, only because the pay-per-view had streaming issues, so they had to open it out. I'm talking about Tiger versus Phil in 2018, which was nicknamed The Match. Massive names and massive rivals going head-to-head. On paper, it worked. In reality, it didn't. The two players were mic'd up, so we all thought, We'll get fascinating insight. We'll be able to hear them insult each other for 18 holes. When what we actually got was more heavy breathing and sniffles. And for two GOATs, the golf itself was bang average. And speaking of GOATs, let's end with Messi and Ronaldo. In 2023, an exhibition between PSG and the Riyadh All-Star 11 saw them share a pitch for possibly the final time. To be fair, it was a goal fest, which PSG won 5-4, and Messi and Ronaldo both scored. But it was obvious they were past their prime. El Clasico, this was not. And with it being in Saudi, there were more sports washing claims. So there you have it. Exhibitions that have let us down. And I didn't even have time to mention the Community Shield.
Good morning. How are you? Welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne, and the man who just yawned one out before his mic went up, Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Oh, don't worry, we all feel the same. England beat New Zealand 1-0 in Florida last night as the clock ticks down to England's opening game against Croatia. A Harry Kane header was the difference. Anthony Gordon says the feeling in the camp is high.
When you got this calibre of player in every position, you have to believe. But the thing that makes you believe the most is the togetherness, is the camaraderie off the pitch, which is the best I've been a part of in an England team so far.
Well, that's very good to hear. Anthony Gordon there. David Sullivan has announced he's stepping down as co-chairman of West Ham. Jacob Steinberg, football reporter for The Guardian, says it will come as a relief for some West Ham fans.
Become so unpopular with the club's fan base because of the way that he's done things, especially in the last few years, that's ultimately led to them going down this season into the Championship.
And Scotland ended their World Cup preparation with a 4-0 thrashing of Bolivia. Are they ready to make a mark at this World Cup? Steve Clarke says they're not quite there yet.
So still a bit of work to be done. Some good moments today, but obviously some moments as well that I can see where we can do a little bit better.
Steve Clarke there. We've got lots to discuss today as we count down to the World Cup. You can let us know how you're feeling and keep your favourite World Cup memories coming in. 81089 or give us a call 03717 22 3344 is the number. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Morning. Good morning, folks. My earliest World Cup memory watching Scotland was David Neary's toe poke goal against Brazil. Stunning goal for a central defender, Mark Alexander in Thurso this morning. Morning to Simon. He said, my first World Cup memory was in 1974 finals in Germany. Johan Cruyff, Gerard Muller and Scotland unbeaten in the group stage, but going out on goal difference to Brazil. That's Simon, the Hull City fan. You can keep these coming in, 81089, if you fancy. You got World Cup fever yet, Cass? So you're kind of I'm slowly building.
Yeah, slowly building. And obviously really hugely disappointed Ireland didn't get there because, just had so much. My early memories of going to the Euros 88 and I remember walking out, we played the Dutch and there was literally Irish fans to the right and on the left was the Dutch fans. And it was such an incredible, it was like a photograph of orange, green and white. Oh, it was just amazing. And that was the same in World Cups because just great followings, and incredible atmospheres at World Cups. And then it continued on to 90 in the World Cup 90. I got asked for more tickets in World Cup 90 from fans who were coming to the hotel telling me I was related to them, trying to get tickets for games. Honestly, it was like a regular thing on a daily basis. Someone's at the hotel, says they're your relation from Monte Cassino and Cascarinos and blah, blah, blah. And then, would you go and see them? And I did go and see a few of them and nothing to do with me.
So your mum's the Irish side?
Yeah, my mum's the Irish side.
Your dad's Italian. Did you ever have the thought of playing for Italy? Was that ever a conversation that was had? Or?
No, it was never made. I got the opportunity with Ireland. That door was opened and I jumped on it. And I had my granddad who lived with us, who was a very proud man from Mayo, Westport County, Mayo. And he would have been absolutely, because he passed away before I made my debut, but he would have been delighted that I chose Ireland.
Yeah, it's funny. Somebody's message there saying, Shebahn, who would you want to win out of Ireland and Scotland playing each other? Now, my sister plays for the Republic of Ireland, still currently plays for the Republic of Ireland through my mum's side. And we spent all of our childhood, even now I take my children to where we went as kids. And my sister always said when she got the call up from Ireland and they gave the opportunity, because she was chucked out the Scotland squad at youth level for being a bit of a pain in the backside, I've probably arguing with the manager and whatever. She was only young. And then when she got the Ireland kind of introduction, she said through Nanny, like my grandparents, she's like that made her so proud to make my nanny.
Absolutely.
And she got to see her play for Ireland as well, Republic of Ireland. So when Scotland played Ireland women in the World Cup playoff at Hampden, I felt for all those Scotland girls, because you're Scotland kind of born and bred. But my sister plays for the Republic of Ireland, so for me, it's an easy decision. You want your sister to go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
You want that.
Yeah.
And that always gets kind of brought
It's
to
a
me
connection
at talkSPORT. But
there's a huge connection.
I love Ireland so much. I wish they were there as well. I wish, Northern Ireland had made it. You want to see all of these, I don't know, that had a part of your life or shape who you are, see doing well at major tournaments.
You looked at our WhatsApp group, Italia 90 group, that we put together, and the love for Ireland and what we achieved and the players and relationships we had with each other was extraordinary, and with the fans.
Yeah.
It's still there today. So we're talking 2026. We've got this WhatsApp group that is always active, and we all comment on stuff, and they're great lads, and it's the greatest days of our life in footballing terms.
Absolutely. No, it's an incredible time, the World Cup. I'm really looking forward to it. You can listen to it all live on talkSPORT. I fly out on Tuesday with producer Sam. We're going to Charlotte for base camp to follow Scotland, and we'll be bringing you all of the news and hopefully speaking to you, Cass, down the line on the weekends as well. Let's focus now on Formula One as we're building up to the World Cup. There's loads more world-class sport today, including one of the most compelling races in the F1 calendar around the iconic streets of Monte Carlo. I must say, my friend Johnny's there just now, and he put on his Insta story last night. I thought, I could see me there. Not for the race.
Have you never been to Monaco?
No, never.
No, you've got to go once. You've got to go and see it.
Teenager Kimi Antonelli took his fourth pole of the season for Mercedes as he looks to strengthen his grip on the lead of the Drivers' Championship. We can speak to our reporter on this, Tom Clayton, to look ahead to the race. Good morning, Tom. What's your thoughts on Kim Kardashian? I'm joking. I'll leave that for my sidebar fun later on. How are you?
Well, morning, guys. Well, actually, there is some news on that front. For the first time this season, Kim Kardashian is in the Formula One paddock. She's there. She's supporting Lewis. She's on her own. There's a couple of times where the cameras have cut to her off circuit. And she just kind of stood on a balcony on her own watching what's going on. I don't think she has a clue what's actually happening. But whatever is happening...
Well, our boyfriend's Lewis Hamilton. Bet she knows more than you, Tom.
Well... I mean, look, she might do. That's absolutely fine. But whatever she's doing, it's working, because Lewis Hamilton is going well. He's up to third in qualifying and was arguably in with a shout for pole yesterday. It was an unbelievably close qualifying session yesterday between several drivers. There was a point in Q3 when Max Verstappen and Kimi Antonelli, the two who've ended up first and second, were separated by 1,000th of a second. That's 0.001, which is absolutely unbelievable. It is so close. And then the margin for pole position second between Antonelli and Verstappen ended up being, I think it's 400ths of a second. So you can imagine, when you're going so fast, when you've got the barriers within inches and you're told to get closer to the barriers to go faster, when you separate it by less than half a tenth of a second, it's frighteningly quick.
Yeah. Tom, I wanted to ask you, because one of the criticisms of the Monaco Grand Prix has always been overtaking, that it's very difficult to do and it doesn't change the outcome. Once someone gets the lead, they hang on to it. But there's new regulations in place. Do you think that's going to make a difference?
Well, I think this is the thing. A lot of people have been very critical of the new regulations this year because they're not great in terms of an engine standpoint. But on a circuit like this, where the cars have to be able to follow each other, this year the cars are smaller, for example, physically smaller. So there will be more space and the cars can follow each other better. I think they've got the aerodynamic regulations absolutely spot on. So we are seeing closer racing, generally speaking, in the other races. So I think if there's going to be overtakes in a Monaco Grand Prix, I think it might come this year. It's not always conducive to lots of overtaking this Grand Prix, as you said. And I think in past events of the Monaco Grand Prix, we've gone through entire Grand Prix where there's been one overtake in the entire race, which, yes, okay, even I, as an avid Formula One fan, can admit that's quite a tricky watch. But I think this year they might have got the formula right, and I think we're in a position where we might actually get some really good action on the track this year.
Okay, so what time's it all underway, Tom? What are you looking forward to most?
So it's underway at 2:00, and I'm really looking forward to, and it's a bit of a cop-out to say, I'm really looking forward to see what happens at the start, because the two Ferraris are starting third and fourth, and they, because of the way the engine regulations work and the way they've leaned their focus, they're absolute rocket ships off the start. So it'd be interesting to see if they can get ahead of either Antonelli or Verstappen. Also be interesting to see if either of those two get their elbows out, and how, I don't want to say physical, but how close this battle gets for the lead, because Antonelli's looking for a remarkable fifth Grand Prix win in a row. Max Verstappen's looking to bounce back after a pretty torrid start to the year. And as I say, Charles Leclerc starting from fourth on the grid. I'll be fascinated to see whether he can come through, and he's looking to win his second home race from Monaco, because he, of course, is from the Principality. So I think there's lots of storylines going into this race. Also, George Russell starting in sixth, absolutely mile off his teammate. So can he recover? I mean, there's plenty going on. As I say, 2:00 start, I'll have live updates.
We will hear you then. Tom Clayton, thank you. Enjoy the race. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Keep these lovely World Cup memories coming in. People getting all nostalgic about TVs getting nearly chucked out the window and all that kind of stuff. So keep these coming in. 81089. Coming up next, the Real Madrid presidential elections are coming up and causing absolute carnage. More on that coming next on the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT.
When you get these Arsenal fans ranting and raving and saying some of the things that they do, and then you get this nitwit over here popping up with his little brand of observation in social media.
What, Piers?
Yeah.
Little brand of 9 million followers.
Whatever, how many followers you've got, Piers.
Well, a lot more than you, Sancho.
Fantastic, but I don't judge my
work
work
by
that.
Little brand.
But I don't judge myself by those numbers.
This is a little brand. Mine My YouTube channel is 4.5 million subscribers.
I'm delighted.
I have 9 million followers on X. So when I say something to 9 million
I'm delighted.
people, I'm saying it to a lot more millions than you.
I'm delighted.
No, but it's not a little brand. I'm not a little nitpick.
No, I'm delighted.
You may not like what I say.
I'm delighted.
But the platform I have is infinitesimally bigger than yours.
I'm delighted you've pivoted into the digital world and hung on by your fingertips, right? But the bottom line is I'm looking at the content. I'm looking at the content, and you're asking me why.
Yes.
People are reacting negatively to what's being said. So I floated the idea without a great deal of commitment to it that silly comments that are antagonistic made by nitwits like him with big audiences.
What silly
Is
comment?
that better?
Well, give me a silly
Well,
comment.
I don't study your feed, but every now and again
give me one example.
You pop up with observations
Well, give
about
me one
Arsenal
that's silly.
inflammatory. I don't know. I can look through it in a second.
Exactly. You can't think of one. You just said it.
Every now and again.
You just literally said that.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
How's it going this morning? You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. We are building up.
Yeah.
This is from 1998. Mojo. No, it's Stardust. Is it?
Oh.
Oh, I'm thinking of This Is Lady Hear Me Tonight. There's a similar vibe there, right? DJ James, you're right. It's absolutely not Mojo.
Mojo's the Danish singer, isn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't know my backside from my elbow kiss. I wouldn't know the answer to that.
Oh, Scandi. I don't know. I thought Mojo was Scandi. But anyway.
Like Switzerland's in Scandinavia, right?
That was yesterday. So I said they moved Switzerland.
They moved it. You're dead right. Okay? It's nothing to do with me and my geography. Hope you're doing okay today. It's time now for a bit of this.
The ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
We could be sending you to the World Cup just around the corner. Of course, it kicks up this Thursday on talkSPORT, and you and a friend could be in New York to see England live with Adidas, the tournament's official match ball supplier. This is brilliant. New York City. You'll be watching England against Panama. Return flights, hotel, match tickets, spending money, all taken care of and all on us. Plus, Adidas is throwing in the official try-on to match ball and a fresh pair of footy boots as well. If you want to win, here's how you can get involved. Head to talksportwin.com, talksportwin.com, or text WIN, W-I-N, to 83338. Text and online entries cost £2.50 plus your one standard network rate, or you can call this number if you would rather do that. 0343 418 7260. That's 0343 418 7260, and entries must be in by 4 p.m. on the 12th of June. You'll need to answer your phone if it rings. It's 18 plus, UK residents only for this one. It's a talkSPORT promotion with all of the terms and conditions at talksportwin.com. You can also enter there on that website or text the word WIN to 83338 now, and good luck. Right. While our eyes are starting to look across the Atlantic ahead of the World Cup, one of Europe's biggest football clubs is starting to fall into chaos ahead of the presidential elections from making big claims that they can't back up, which also leads them to getting into legal trouble. To bring in the special one back to the Bernabeu dugout, let's speak to Mario Cortegana, Spanish football expert at The Athletic, about what's been going on with this crazy week at Real Madrid. It's been crazy for a while at Real Madrid. Good morning to you, Mario.
Hi, Mario.
Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Mario, tell us, I mean, look, we always put Real Madrid and Barcelona as the two biggest clubs in the world, and some would argue it's definitely Real Madrid. And yet, in the last year or so, it feels like everything's gone spiraled out of control at Real Madrid.
Yeah, especially this season. Almost around a year ago, Real Madrid appointed on a 3-year deal Xabi Alonso, and it seemed that it would be an amazing new project. And Alonso, now at Chelsea, latest around 8 months. And since then, everything has been crazy and more drama around Real Madrid, including these elections that are happening today and are the first elections to the club presidents in 20 years, in the last 20 years.
Yeah. Mario, tell us about these elections, because, you know, from both sides, Riquelme and Perez, the incredible promises to what's going to happen at Real Madrid. But it feels like these are political promises that I can't really see them happening.
Yeah, at the beginning it seemed that it wouldn't be that mad, but in the last couple of days, 3-4 days, there have been a lot of noise due to the attacks between Riquelme and Florentino, and also because of the big names, Klopp, Haaland, the denials from their entourage. Florentino saying on a Spanish TV show that he will make more than 100 or 150 million offer to a Champions League club on Tuesday. So, pure drama around Real Madrid now.
I mean, it is. It's madness to watch somebody who's a presidential candidate wave a Haaland shirt. And then the Haaland's coming out and like, no, that's nothing to do with us. But do you think there's anything linked to that? Or was that just Riquelme having a right go and hoping to stir the pot? Is there any link?
Well, it's hard to believe that a businessman with a good history in the business field could promise these big names in front of the whole world of football. Just because he wants. I assume that some work was done behind the scenes, but it doesn't mind if at the moment you are risking everything. It seems that you have failed. Riquelme did a good job at the beginning of his campaign, but at the key moments, with the biggest name, with Haaland first, and then with Klopp, almost the whole fan base, Real Madrid fan base, are having serious doubts. And no wonder why about if he really has these big names in his project.
And there's also obviously an incredible manager in Jose Mourinho and his success in his career, but has gone backwards in recent years, or found it very difficult, from Roma to Benfica, Tottenham. And there he is, you know, on the verge of being, you know, the new manager of Real Madrid. And how's that perceived in Spain and at Madrid especially?
Yeah, when we first published the news about Perez wanting Mourinho, Mourinho being Perez's favorite option to succeed Arbeloa, people wouldn't believe, and it seemed very crazy. But with the pass of the days and of the time, more and more Madridistas started to see that as a good option, because, you know, the fight between Tchouaméni and Fede Valverde, the 2 seasons in a row without major trophies. So what at the beginning was seen like a strange choice is now one of the main points for Florentino to win the elections.
Yeah. And Mario, has this been the most difficult or the most hardest time at Real Madrid that you can remember?
Yeah, for sure. That it has been, as you mentioned at the beginning, 2 seasons in a row without major trophies, but especially this season, Xabi Alonso, then Arbeloa, Arbeloa fighting with Kylian Mbappé in front of the media, with attacking each other in front of the media, the fight between Tchouaméni and and Fede Valverde. So it was something crazy, really crazy in the over this season. Yeah.
It seems only yesterday that Real Madrid knocked out Manchester City out the Champions League very comfortably. It looked so good at that particular time. That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, there was a month in where Arbeloa's Real Madrid, people started to believe that Arbeloa could manage to improve the situation and to really compete for the trophies, especially for the Champions League. And actually, they were close to beat, or they had a good chance to beat Bayern Munich, but eventually it didn't happen. And from then, it has been, since the April mid, it has been drama and more drama, drama around Real Madrid, including this election.
Well, the drama keeps you busy, Mario, keeps you in a job, that's for sure. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
Spanish football expert at The Athletic, Mario Cortegana. Yeah.
What a carry-on at Real Madrid.
Imagine that was like happening here.
Yeah, well,
that'd be wild.
I'm sure it has. There has been troubles at clubs, but because it's Real Madrid and having players fight, and it's been well documented, it's not been just two players; it's been a number of players.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot wrong at Real Madrid at the moment.
Indeed. I think you're right about that. We're building up to the World Cup. It's just around the corner. It starts this Thursday, live on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll welcome our Artist of the Month to the studio, Scottish singer PG Charletta. You're listening to The Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning.
Absolute wet wipes. The lot of yous. Absolute wet wipes. Wow. Oh, he wore a PSG top. Oh, he jumped around. Wow. Do you know what? If it happened again tomorrow, I would do it again tomorrow. Wow. Up the Chelsea. Here we go. There she There she is. Look at that. Wow. Look at that bad boy.
He took it too far, Dino. He took it too far. He took it too far. Up the PSG. Up the PSG. Up the Champions League. Up the Chelsea. Oh, Cundy, you legend. We absolutely love you. Everyone loves you. Sports Bar loves you. The people love you. The Arsenal fans hate you. But who cares? Who cares? You've done it for everyone. Apart from that Chelsea lot. Apart from that Arsenal lot. Eh? Up the Champions League. And Arsenal absolutely bottled it. They bottled it. And I was so glad that he done what he done. And he took it too far, but we love it. And I'm going to sit here, I'm going to eat my croissants, I'm going to eat my cheese, and I'm going to enjoy myself. And Gabby, you absolute legend. You legend, Gabby. You come in, you stepped up for the Sports Bar, and that's what we do.
They won the league by 7 points, though.
No one cares, Dean. No one cares. They won the Premier League before. I can't believe these Arsenal fans were phoning up, whinging to Jim White and Simon Jordan, moaning, whinging, crying about...
morning. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Name
Sorry.
that song. Can you hear the song?
Oh, I know it. I've heard it.
Time's up.
Go on, tell me.
This is Big Country in a
Big Country.
Yeah.
It wasn't the song called Big Country as well? Big Country.
In a Big Country.
Yeah.
Big Country in a Big Country.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
I remember that bit.
1983, that goes back to some of your headlines you're waking up to this morning. Exeter beat rivals Saracens 32-12 to ensure a Prem playoff semi-final. And in the reign of long-serving Sarries boss Mark McCall, Northampton will take on Leicester, while Bath host Exeter in the semis. In the boxing last night, Chris Billam-Smith prevailed with a hometown dramatic victory after Ryan Rozicki retired at the end of the 7th round at the Bournemouth International Centre. Fair play, Chris Billam-Smith. I was just watching him on Sky News there, giving an update from the hospital. Good performance from him last night. And Mira Andreeva became the youngest tennis player to win the women's singles French Open title since 1992. The 19-year-old clinched a straight sets victory over Polish qualifier Maja Walinska in the final at Roland Garros. Here's what she said about the mindset that she brought into the final.
My psychologist says that you can always choose how you're gonna, be on the court and how you're gonna play and who you're gonna be as a person as well. So I just decided to choose to be a fighter.
Power of the mind. Well done to her. 19 years old. Absolutely stunning win for Mira Andreeva. German second seed Alexander Zverev takes on Flavio Cobolli in the men's decider this afternoon. We'll keep you updated on that. Live PGA golf as well. The Memorial Tour live on talkSPORT 2 for you this evening. And we'll keep you posted on the men's French Open final as well. Right, it's time now for this.
All those rainy nights and 5-hour flights, we never gave up hope. The glory times covered them pines when Kieran Tierney scored. Greece all week, Denmark at home, we made our voices known. We're on our way to history, we'll be coming down the road.
Oh, this is brilliant. Our Artist of the Month in the studio with us. Delighted to say PG Charletta is with us here in the studio. Hello.
I've got Scotswoman to my right, a Scotsman with a Scottish top on to my left.
It's fine.
With a guitar.
You're going to be okay.
Surrounded.
Now, last time I saw you was in... Where was our final group game, actually? Stuttgart. Were we in Stuttgart last time we saw you at the Euros? You were definitely in Stuttgart.
It was Stuttgart. No, it might have been Cologne.
Oh, it might have been Cologne.
I think it was the square. It was Alt Market Square.
There you go.
Because I had the guitar and I was just running about everywhere. And then I ended up on that day in the big fat Euros fan zone in Cologne, which was just thousands of Scottish people, which was amazing. The only game I didn't have a ticket for. So it was maybe meant.
Yeah.
It was meant to be. Yeah.
So, obviously, you like making Scottish songs and music, and then you've got a new one out, haven't you, for this World Cup? Does that be right?
Yeah. So I've released quite a lot of songs in the last year, but when we get to the tournaments, this time round, I've got a song called "The Saltires Back, Ole Ole," which is out. It came out on the 22nd of May, so we're kind of about to hit the peak of the tournament. And yeah, it's just a quick summary of the recent qualification campaign, flashback to Scotland's most famous World Cup moment with Archie Gemmill, and then the chorus is, I like to just simply put it as the best.
You're too young to know Archie Gemmill.
I've seen videos in history of watching the documentaries on YouTube. Yeah, he only retired last week.
He was a legend. He was a legend in the game, Archie Gemmill.
That's the thing. This is our first World Cup since '98. How old are you now, PG?
30.
So you can't remember?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I think my first memories of watching Scotland was the campaigns after that. Yeah. But I done a charity event in Ayr up the road for the World Cup, and there was 3 members of the France '98 team there. One was John Collins.
Yeah, John. I played with John at Celtic.
And he actually done my bow tie before I went out to perform, which I shouldn't be saying.
He was, honestly, and I've said this to Shebahn on air, but we've chatted about it. John Collins was one of the fittest players I ever played with.
He still is.
He was ripped, absolutely ripped as a player. He was like what you see Ronaldo and all that when they take the shirt. John Collins was like that in Celtic in 1991. And eventually went and played in Europe and Monaco. Wee John.
It's funny when you say fixture bow tie, because I think even now when I see John, he's like immaculate. He clearly has that like OCD thing that has to be, everything has to be perfect. Nice of him to do that. You didn't get to see, obviously, remember 98, but this is a different generation now for Scotland fans, and we're getting to hear people like you and Nick Morgan and many others making music to send Scotland away to World Cups and Euros. It's such a refreshing time.
Yeah, there's been like at the Euros there was a selection of songs. I would say this time it's went mad up the road. There's just so many different songs and so many different styles. But like the impact of qualifying for a World Cup on the rest of the country is massive. Which you look at, every indoor venue in Scotland's more or less a fan zone next week. So it's like the knock-on effect for us all is amazing. But I think like right now everybody's going to start listening to World Cup songs. So I think as all the artists, it's about putting music out there for the people in the country. Songs that they can get excited about going to America or watching it back home in some fan zone or pub or living room somewhere.
So how long did it take you to put this song together?
This one was when it was the Euro song. It was just I blew up on TikTok and it just went from there. This song was probably a day. It was just after qualifying. It took about a day to write it and then a day to record it. But I kind of took a bit of inspo like Waka Waka and a bit of the Proclaimers and Dario G, Carnival de Paris, all those songs. Because when it hits the chorus in the break section, which was when the all A's come in, I like the songs that are very inclusive. So like it doesn't matter where you're from at that point. Like anybody can join in, and like you can see people doing the conga and that.
It's a smart thing to do, isn't it? That is smart. And you got to play this at Hampden at the send-off game, right?
Yeah. So last week I got invited to. It was a private event for the squad before they flew off to America. So it was their friends and families. So I got to go and play a couple of tunes. So I didn't actually play this song. I played. I had a wee slot during halftime of the Champions League final. So I was just playing like a selection of songs. But it was quite a nice moment because I got like a full circle moment with the France '98 team and then the current team as well, which was really
great
nice
stuff.
That must have been lovely to get to do that for this current Scotland team. And what was their reception to you singing?
Yeah, so
didn't boo you off or anything?
No, I never got booed off.
That's nice. Then.
That only happens on Twitter.
I got booed off in Scotland. At Parkhead.
He still scored against Rangers, so for that he's accepted. But
that's all you need to do.
That's all I did.
Got one job. That's all he did. PJ, you're going to sing the Saltire's Back now, right?
Yes, absolutely.
For us now.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, take it away. You listen to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. This is our Artist of the Month, PJ Charletta. The Saltire's Back ahead of Scotland going to the World Cup.
All those rainy nights and 5-hour flights, we never gave up hope. Glory times covered them pints when Kieran Tierney scored. Greece away, Denmark at home, we made our voices known. We're on our way to history, we'll be coming down the road. So when we go on a plane over to America, down to Mexico or Canada, the Saltire's back on a world stage. The first time since France '98. From Hampden Park we'll march, will you follow me? Katie, McGinn, Robbo and McTominay. The Saltire's back on a world stage. The Tartan Army's on its way. Ole, ole, no Scotland, no party. Ole, ole, there is no other way. Ole, ole, no Scotland, no party, we'll be coming. Ole, ole, no Scotland, no party. Ole, ole, there is no other way. Ole, ole, no Scotland, no party, we'll be coming. So when we go on a plane over to America, down to Mexico or Canada, the Saltire's back on the world stage. The first time since France '98. From Hampden Park, we'll march, will you follow me? Katie, McGinn, Robbo and McTominay. The Salters back on a world stage. The Tartan Army's on its way.
Great stuff.
Oh, catchy. So catchy. It's an earworm, that.
Yeah. You ever thought of writing one for England?
£15 million. I'm joking. No.
Well done, PG. That's brilliant. Really pleased for you. As we look ahead then to the first game against Haiti, and then it's Morocco, then it's Brazil. Are you going to get out there, by the way? You get any?
Yeah, I've got tickets for the Haiti game.
Good.
And I've got tickets for the Morocco game, so I'm getting to...
Two good ones, yeah.
Yeah, well, when I went to both of the Euros, the games I missed seem to be the ones that we do better in.
Right.
So hopefully this time we get to see a win.
Surely.
Surely
against Haiti.
Yeah.
So you might stay out for the final one, Brazil.
Oh, I thought you said the final, but no. So I'm coming.
Yeah, I mean Brazil in the final.
Yeah. Hopefully. No, I'm playing in one of the fan zones in Glasgow for the Brazil game. So
Okay,
I'm going to Boston and then coming back to Scotland for that game.
Well, we'll be seeing you out there then, because Sam and I will be at the fan zones and catching up with everyone. So we'll see you there. What do you want to happen at this World Cup? How do you think it's going to happen?
What do I want to happen?
Realistically, PG.
I would love to win it, but I would say I would love to see firstly getting out the group, last 32. 16 would be amazing, but I think realistically this team can get to the last 32, the knockouts for the first time.
Shanklin up front?
Yeah, I think so. Scoring goals, looking good, and I'd seen like the link-up play and stuff as well. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, we'll see you out there in America. Well done with all the work. Where can people download this? Is it on Spotify and whatnot?
Yeah, so the song's on all the music platforms. So yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. It's just under PG Charletta, the Salters back, ole ole. And yeah, there's been quite a lot of videos online that have had a good number of reach, and yeah, especially on Twitter. Yeah. As always. So people might have saw it. Hopefully on Facebook, because Facebook is 90% positive.
It's a bit kinder. Twitter's not there to praise anyone. Trust me, I feel you. PG Charletta, thank you so much. Well done, good for
Cheers,
you.
PG.
And we'll see you out there. That's
No
our
worries, thank you.
Well done, great stuff.
You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll look ahead to today's race in MotoGP, and later on we'll speak to a former Pop Idol winner as we continue our Scottish send-off.
Perez, for his part, has promised he'll appoint Jose Mourinho as manager if he's elected.
She's done it already.
Well, that's what he wants to do, but he's got to get elected to make it official. Riquelme, meantime, for his part, is saying no to Mourinho. He's promised to make Madrid legend Raul his sporting director and will not appoint Mourinho. He says, if I win the elections, I will bring to Real Madrid a superstar manager. the biggest manager you can imagine. Jose Mourinho is not that manager. He promised also, and this is where it gets interesting, to sign Manchester City midfielder Rodri, as well as Erling Haaland, and then held up a Madrid shirt with Haaland's name on the back of it. And one would think that Manchester City are none too happy about that. Is it arrogant in a presidential?
To you, it's the weekend sports breakfast here on talkSPORT. The World Cup build-up has to start.
Can I just say something? You know, just listening to that, you know, obviously PG there doing the song of Scotland, and this is the first time I actually thought in the break, I really feel like it's on me now, the World Cup.
Good. That's the plan today.
I haven't felt like that up until today.
Good.
Even yesterday's show, I knew the World Cup, we'd done lots of World Cup chat. But today I came in, I feel like it's absolutely on top of us now.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think Scotland can do all right. I really do. I think they're going to do way better than what people, you know, say, because I think they've got some great midfielders. Shankland's come in and done really well, added a bit more. Shea Adams alongside him yesterday really looked like it worked. I know it's a friendly, but I just think Scotland are going to do better than what most people think.
Mm. Where are we going to get the results then? It's got to be against Haiti.
Well, I was saying to PG off air that you know, we got to the last 8 of Republic of Ireland when we beat Romania in the last 16. I feel like Scotland can get to the last 16. No, I don't think 32. I think they're possible for them to get to the last 16. They're going to be a tough side to beat.
Yeah, that would be incredible. Imagine getting to the last 16.
Their midfield is really strong. That's what we talked about. You know, there's enough there. People like Robertson at the back. Yeah. Robertson coming in, you know, Hanley, experience. I just feel like Scotland have got a bit more than they've had, you know, in previous tournaments.
Well, that's it. And now I'm like, the one thing for us where I think we will really struggle, a bit like England, would be the conditions.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of European countries that are going to have that problem.
Everybody's in the same boat, I guess, you know. And then I suppose we go back to the Club World Cup, the focus on...
It's 2026, Shebahn, and we must get real. There's a lot more is understood about. It's not like 94, where we all knew how difficult the conditions would be, but it's much more... It's dealt with in a far different way now.
Yeah, and as I was just going to say there, like, you know, Chelsea still could go and win the Club World Cup there.
Yeah.
You know, you can still perform.
Absolutely.
And that's what squads are for. Interesting stuff. You can keep your memories of World Cups coming in, by the way, 81089. It's always nice to read these out. Let's focus now on MotoGP. Monaco isn't the only Grand Prix to keep an eye on this afternoon. MotoGP has landed in Hungary this weekend with the race getting underway at 1 p.m. We have it for you on talkSPORT 2 to take us through the details of this race. We've got Carlos Espeleta with us this morning, the MotoGP Chief Sporting Officer. Good morning to you, Carlos. How's things?
Hi,
Good
Carlos.
morning, guys. How's it going?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good, thanks.
Yeah, we're good. So tell us, well, first of all, who's going to be in pole position in the Hungarian Grand Prix?
Yeah, so back from injury after you know, pretty tough start of the year is Marc Marquez, which is our reigning world champion, and you know, this year on to equal the most titles ever in the Premier class. But he has, of course, a lot of ground to recover in the season, but a lot of expectation this weekend here in Hungary because he's back and he's back on pole.
I mean, we did a lot of focus on MotoGP last week, and I know that you probably hear this all a lot, but the dangers of this sport is quite incredible.
Yes, I mean, it's, you know, we're doing a lot of things and a lot of, you know, we're really putting in a lot of effort, a lot of technology in making sure that we diminish the risks as much as possible. Of course, you know, the speed and just the nature of the sport, the athleticism, it is a sport where injuries are common. And, you know, it does affect also the performance because, like I said, it's a very athletic motorsport where, you know, the physical condition of the rider is a big part of the package for that weekend. But there's there's a lot of improvements. There's more coming, and we're doing all that we can to sort of control the safety aspect of the sport.
And the weather as always plays a big part in any sport. And I'd imagine it's no different for you guys. And tell us how it's looking.
It's sunny days here in Hungary. It's a good temperature. It's going to be as close to 30 degrees, today for the race. So no, the temperature, we're temperature and weather, we're being lucky so far this year.
Just ask you about your role as well. How do you go about growing MotoGP? How are you working on that?
So, I mean, MotoGP, we're already, a very big global sport, with over 600 million fans around the world. And of course, a lot of enthusiasm right now after the acquisition of Liberty Media, who are the owners of Formula One. And, we're seeing a lot of tailwinds. We have a lot of, new races that are joining, two confirmed already for next year in Buenos Aires and in Adelaide in Australia. So both of those are city events, which are, a very important way for us to grow the sport as we get bigger and closer to, major populations. And then, from the content side is one that we're focusing on a lot. We're investing a lot in our marketing team and making sure we're delivering the best content for each platform. Because, historically, I think that we've done very well in our broadcast product and showing the racing and the sport itself. But it's just how you trim that and how you are producing the output of content for each fan base, and we're targeting on the new fan base for sure.
Well, Carlos, one big thing always with fan base is new potential stars in a sport. Young riders that come in and light up the sport. Is that the same for you? Is that the direction you're talking about? All the possibilities moving forward?
Yes, for sure. And I think we have 22 amazing riders. A lot of them are very young, and it's just a case of showing the world how they are, their personalities, taking them, taking the fans through what it is to be a MotoGP rider, how they prepare for the race, their rituals, and then also how they live their lives outside of the weekend, the girlfriends, the wives, the dogs. That's what people want to see, and that's what success looks like these days.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on with us today and building up to the race. We've got it live on talkSPORT 2 this afternoon. Carlos Ezpeleta, I hope it all goes well for you, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Like we say, MotoGP Grand Prix from Hungary, 12:45 today over on talkSPORT 2. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast. We're building up to the World Cup just around the corner. We're doing a little bit of a Scottish send-off show today.
Yeah, well, you're going. It's your last day.
It is,
with us.
yeah,
So
it is.
next weekend, I'll be with Max.
You're going to be with Max Scott.
Yeah, Max Scott.
Who does love a bit of Scotland as well,
Yeah.
But he is an Englishman. I just like to tell everyone it's a Max is half Scottish. He's not. He's full Englishman, I think, and he's going to be with you for the next month here on the Weekend Sports Breakfast with Tony Cascarino. Keep your World Cup memories coming in 8, 10, 89. Coming up for you next, we'll head back out with the Tartan Army and speak to a content creator heading out to the States. Good morning.
Crookie, what about Elliot Anderson? We're led to believe that opening bid from City has been knocked back from Forest. Is it just a case of a matter of time this one getting over the line?
I think so, and again, no surprise that City have tried to make their move early. We were told at talkSPORT a couple of weeks ago that in an ideal world, Elliot Anderson's future would be sorted before he kicks his first ball for England at the World Cup. Obviously, City are trying to get this one done. We know that Evangelos Marinakis can be a difficult negotiator. Just ask Tottenham and Morgan Gibbs-White from this time last year. But all the information I have is that City have always been Elliot Anderson's preferred choice, despite the fact there's also interest from Manchester United. This is a deal I do expect to happen. And again, it comes back to what we said at the start of the section. Real Madrid and Rodri, if they get Elliot Anderson in, could the time be right to cash in on Rodri?
Knuckleball free kicks. They used to be all the rage, but when was the last time you saw someone score with one? We're going to take a look at why we're not really seeing them anymore and also explain a bit more about how they work. The knuckleball peaked in the 2010s, probably because that Ronaldo strike in 2008 inspired academy players everywhere. Here's a young Mason Mount.
I tried to base my free kick on Ronaldo, hit the ball by the valve and it moves. So what do you do? Top corner, top bins.
The name knuckleball comes from a baseball pitch held with the knuckles rather than the fingertips, which doesn't spin as it travels. Now, no ball is a perfect sphere, so as it travels, it creates ever-changing pockets of turbulent air, causing that unpredictable movement. Brazilian free-kick specialist Juninho Pernambucano wasn't the first player to do it, but he did perfect it, scoring 77 free kicks over his career, more than anyone else. He was inspired by 90s midfielder Marcelinho Carioca and a guy called Didi, who was hitting knuckleballs in the 50s and 60s. Brazilians call it the dry leaf, because the ball looks like a leaf that gets blown around in the wind this way and that. So how do you do it? The key point is to hit the ball head-on, usually with a straighter run-up. It's a punch-like shot and, crucially, as short a contact time as possible so the ball doesn't spin. Some people think players hit the valve to affect the air inside the ball. That's not the reason. It's because the part of the ball around the valve is more rigid, helping to shorten that contact time. Remember the David Luiz beauty against Colombia in the 2014 World Cup? We don't really see knuckleballs anymore. Why? Because players are being told not to shoot from dead ball situations because the XG is so low. In fact, as Opta shows here, since the 08-09 season, there's been a 10% reduction in players shooting from free kicks in the Premier League. In 23-24, a record low of 11 free kicks found the back of the net. And the knuckleball, by its very nature, is imprecise, which is why it's becoming a thing of the past.
Good morning, Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
England beat New Zealand 1-0 in Florida last night as the clock ticks down to England's opening game against Croatia. Anthony Gordon says vibes in the England squad are good.
When you got this calibre of player in every position, you have to believe. But
the thing that makes you believe the most is the togetherness, is the camaraderie off the pitch, which is the best I've been a part of in an England team so far.
That's good to hear. We're also going to discuss whether England are fully prepared to start the tournament. David Sullivan has announced he's stepping down as co-chairman of West Ham. Jacob Steinberg, football reporter for The Guardian, says it's come as a relief for West Ham fans.
Become so unpopular with the club's fan base because of the way that he's done things, especially in the last few years, that's ultimately led to them going down this season into the Championship.
We'll chat about what's next for West Ham in just a moment. And Scotland ended their World Cup prep with a 4-0 thrashing of Bolivia. Are we ready to make a mark at this World Cup? Steve Clarke says we're not quite there yet.
There's still a bit of work to be done. Some good moments today, but obviously some moments as well that I can see where we can do a little bit better.
We'll be continuing to build up to the World Cup today. Scotland send-off kind of show. You've been keeping your memories of World Cups coming in. 81089 if you would like to share yours on the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. Good morning to Bruce. He says, how about a bit of Scotland's on Fire? This is your man Nick Morgan's new song. Nick's going to be with us a little bit later on in the show. Morning both, very enjoyable show. I have to agree with Cass. I have a small wager on Scotland to reach the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think they're going to go deeper than people think.
That's Pompey Adam. And then Ryan Killjoy says, all this hoo-ha about Scotland in the World Cup to only come out the group is absolutely hilarious. Listen, Ryan, we know we've got to do our best here, okay?
Look, we're all trying to find teams that can maybe spring a surprise. You know, we've heard teams like Japan being mentioned, and I was talking to my son last night. He said to me that, Dad, I watched Algeria take on France, and they look really good from an African perspective. You know, there's going to be one or two teams, Shebahn, who go really deep, with no one who even would have expected.
Yeah, exactly that. The memories as well coming in, very sweet. I was 9 years old in 1966, and my first memory of the World Cup was playing football on the beach at Lowestoft with the final on the radio, and I was pretending to be Gordon Banks in goal. That's a lovely message.
I met Gordon.
Did you?
Remind me when we're back. I'll tell you a really, for me, a funny story that happened with Gordon Banks a long time ago.
Sam, mark that down for Cappuccino with Cascarino then.
I'll do that.
Good morning to Andy. He said, my World Cup memory was 2002. My wife gave birth to my youngest daughter as the Republic of Ireland faced penalties against Spain, and I kept popping out of the delivery room to check on the score. Andy, you're a disgrace.
Well, do you know what? That was probably the worst penalty shootout ever. Ireland missed nearly all of them, and Spain missed a couple as well. I think Ireland missed 3 at least, but it was one of the worst penalty shootouts ever. Yeah.
Just looking at the back pages for you, there's a lot of focus on West Ham this morning because yesterday afternoon, West Ham co-chairman David Sullivan announced via the club's media that he was going to be leaving the London outfit with immediate effect following an investigation into his conduct. In this statement, West Ham said the illegal conduct and is leaving in order to avoid disruption to the club while he addresses the matter privately. He's denied any illegal conduct against him. It is understood none of the allegations relate to West Ham United or any of its operations. The club have said that. Sullivan denies all allegations against him. The interim chief executive officer, Karim Virani, will be reporting into the current board of directors and will continue to be responsible for leading the club's day-to-day operations with immediate effect. Dan Lawless, presenter on West Ham Fan TV, joined the warm-up yesterday and said the change is welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's great news. It's the news that we've been dreaming of for so long, you know, better part of 10 years, you know, we've been waiting for this day. Now, it's not a complete, you know, gone. He's still got his shares in the club. He's still a equal or majority shareholder with Daniel Kretinsky, but he stepped down as the chairman, as director of WH Holdings and West Ham United Football Club, which is a big step forward. It is huge. We wanted Brady out as well. She went. Now Sullivan. It's a step forward to getting what we've wanted. So he's no longer in charge of the club.
Dan Lawless there. Yeah, it's been almost celebrated, this.
Yeah, look, there'll be many West Ham fans, as we know, that this is a big moment for them because they have not been happy about the way their club has been run for a long time. And, you know, not getting carried away with the allegations or talking about that at the moment. But if you think of West Ham as a football club, this is how I see it. They can attract 60,000 fans at London Stadium. Now, Tottenham get over 60. Arsenal get over 60. Chelsea, obviously, the stadium size is just over 40. So they're the 4 biggest London clubs. Yeah, them 4. West Ham have done nothing in comparison with what Chelsea have achieved, what Arsenal have achieved in recent years. And even Spurs have made the Champions League final, and they've had some difficult times, but they've won a European competition. I know West Ham fans would say they've won a European competition, but they've challenged for the title as well. They challenged in the year that Leicester won it. They've challenged after that and got close to being, champions of the Premier League. Didn't achieve it. But West Ham have done nothing in comparison to them 3 clubs. And I think if you can attract 60,000 fans to your stadium on a regular basis, that tells you you're a big club that is literally punching way below their weight, way below, because that football club has been fighting relegation way too often. And I just think that West Ham fans have to ask that question of why have we not even been involved in conversations about even the Premier League? Other teams have done it, and yet they've never even been there, even close.
Yeah. And how it's been this season it's been so bad. They're
not made Champions League. This club that can get 60,000 that can watch them making the Champions League. You've got to ask them questions. Chelsea have done extraordinary things. I can remember Ken Bates walking into a dressing room at Stamford Bridge, and then I think we had like 10,000 for a game at Stamford Bridge, and he was moaning about 800 tickets were comps and that they've been given by the players, and then telling us about a year later this club can be the biggest club in London, right? So his conversation was to us. There was me, Kerry Dixon, Andy Townsend, I think Wisey was there. I can't remember Vinny, but there was about 4 or 5 of us, and he showed us all the ideas around Chelsea. Obviously, he knew he wasn't going to be the one to deliver that, but they started to progress under Ken before Roman got there. But you saw the potential of what Chelsea did and achieved. Now, West Ham have even got close to anything. And I know Chelsea have spent loads and loads of money. And Arsenal, I think of that period where Arsenal moved their stadium and Tottenham have moved a stadium. That's hugely expensive for a football club. West Ham got the cheap option of renting, not paying the huge fee for a football club to build a new ground. So there has to be serious questions of why have West Ham, who can attract 60,000 fans on a regular basis, have not had some element of success in the Premier League or even being runner-up or making Champions League football.
Looking at it now, should they have stayed at Upton Park?
No, I think they had to move on. I don't think I think if you move on, generally you build a new stadium.
Yeah.
Not use the Olympic Stadium because it's reasonable and you're getting a great deal, and in some ways it's backfired for them. Because I've been there numerous times and the atmosphere is not even close to what it was like at Upton Park with half as many people.
What do you think is going to happen next season? Do you think they kick on? Do you think they get the injection that they need?
Well, it'll be or does it
get worse?
It's a big advantage having 60,000 and well, okay, some will say they won't get 60 next year, might get 45, whatever. It still will set a record for the championship, won't it?
Yeah.
In crowds and capacity, what they can get. If they go well, the fans will just turn up anyway, and they'll get close to 60,000, maybe sell out if they go really well and fight to come back up.
Well, like we see with this news yesterday, Sullivan. This shock exit, some fans hope that it's going to be positive. You can let us know your thoughts on that, 81089. Let's just jump back on the Scottish bandwagon, shall we? They played yesterday 4-0. We beat Bolivia in that send-off game. We're joined now by a Scotland fan and content creator, Sean Vlogs, who's heading out to follow the Tartan Army for this World Cup. Good morning to you, Sean.
Hi, Sean. Everyone.
Good to see you, Sean. Listen, are you excited? What did you make of that send-off game last night? You happy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic. Really good football. The first half was just, we looking back at Scotland over the years, it's quite rare that we can see a performance like that. Going forward, it was just brilliant. I think the formation 4-4-2 is really interesting. Shankland, as a Hearts fan,
brilliant.
We've seen him do this all season, but now to see him doing it in a Scotland shirt, I've got mixed feelings, obviously, but it's great to see him putting goals away. Overall, it's just fantastic, and I'm really excited to be going out there in the middle of the week.
Sean, you were lucky enough to see Shankland at Hearts often enough, but I also thought Shay Adams around him worked really well. You know, the connection between the two of them, and also Ben Gannon-Doak. You know, I thought their forward line looked way more dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Gannon-Doak for me was a standout. He was fantastic. Every time he went forward, every single time he went forward, he looked dangerous. But I definitely agree. You know, having Adams and Shankland together was really good, and I think that's a partnership that it works well. And I hope to see that lineup starting as we go into the first game.
I'm looking at you on the screen just now, Sean. You look like a proper Scotsman. I've got a feeling if I could see your bottom half, you'd be in a kilt right now as well. How are you feeling about these conditions, and how do you think the team will cope?
Yeah, it's going to be hot and sweaty. You could see that on the guys' faces last night. Having spent a lot of time in the States in the summer, you know, it's a hot, sweaty place. I think the Florida game is going to be really interesting. You know, especially for me. My wife is Brazilian, right? So we've got a bit of a split household here with this game. But it's going to be some game out there, and I think the lads will be feeling the heat. That is for sure.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be in that house if it's Scotland or Brazil have to get a result to go.
Especially a Brazilian wife.
Yeah, well, she's really into it as well. She obviously loves Scotland too, but we're really looking forward to that game if we can. That's the only game we don't have tickets for, but we're going to be there in Florida, so fingers crossed.
One more, Sean. I'm going to go back to, you know, would you think Stevie Clarke will be brave enough to go with the two up front? Because obviously it made you look far more effective going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope so. The thing is, the last couple of games we've seen it, and we've got all the evidence we need, I think, right?
Yeah.
It just seemed to fit. It seemed to work well, and you know, I don't know why he wouldn't do that, right? If we're being bold and brave against a team like Haiti,
Scotland are brave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think, you know, we're up against a team that we all think we can get some points off, right? And we can take some goals. So I would love to see us being positive and going for it. And I think that's the game to do it, right? Because it's only going to get more difficult from there on in.
Yeah. Listen, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. How are you now after what happened with Hearts at the end of the season? Are you now glad to have something else to focus on?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I must admit, it took me a couple of weeks to kind of decompress after all that. It was a great season. I can't deny it. It was exciting. And it was really good to see in Scotland that we've got, you know, more than the two teams right there at the end of the season, and I would like to see that continue. But I must admit, it took a few weeks to decompress after that. But I'm really excited now. And you know what? For Scotland, this is just fantastic. In my day job, I'm marketing director for Young Scot, which is a youth information charity. Yeah. And you know, from the outreach we do with some of the partner organisations, we can see young people are just really, really excited for this, really up for it, and you know, everyone can't wait. It's increasing youth participation in sports and football in particular. And I just think it's just fantastic for the whole country. You know, I'm going out to the States, but I tell you what, the atmosphere here in Scotland over the next few weeks is going to be unbelievable as well.
That's what it's all about. I can't wait, Sean. I'll be following your content. Maybe see you out there, okay?
Cheers, Sean.
All the best to you. Sean Vlogs, you can follow him, get his content as he heads stateside with the Tartan Army. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast. Coming up, we'll get the latest odds with Coral, and shortly we'll get stuck into today's back pages.
Let's talk about the World Cup then in a bit more detail. England, of course, touched down in America ahead of the competition. Let me get your views on the squad. Lots of players that a lot of people should have been in it weren't. Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Gibbs White, Adam Wharton, Trent, of course, Harry Maguire being another one. What have you made of the squad and the players that aren't going?
All of them players are the real technicians. Adam Wharton, Foden, Cole Palmer,
Trent.
And Trent. So my opinion personally is the majority of them players should have gone, because I think that holding the ball in a World Cup is the most crucial thing, and being that team. But Thomas has gone the other way. Thomas, you can see he's picked by the team he's picked. It's going to be a sort of low to mid block, and he's going to look for counter-attacking football, right? So personally, I would have done it differently, but I like the fact that he's picked the type of players for his style of football that he thinks going to do it. And like, we're still a week gone from the squad, and we're still talking about the players not there. Almost like, listen, nobody would have picked now 26 players that Thomas would have picked. So we'd all have a disagreement somewhere. It's done now. It's the history. This is the way we're going. And I like the fact he's just strong enough to go, I want these players, and these are the players that are going to do it for me.
It's a crazy one, because for me, I understand what you're saying there, but the Gibbs White one to me just doesn't make any sense. You know, when you're trying to rack your brain, he has been unbelievable this season. And even the way he ended the season, he probably ended the season better than he started it. And the fact he's not going.
Yeah.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. Because this summer, you and a mate could be jetting off to watch England versus Panama in New Jersey live at the FIFA World Cup 2026 with Adidas, including tickets, flights, accommodation and more. Go to talksport.com/win to enter now, and you could be soaking up the incredible atmosphere at the FIFA World Cup 2026. For the chance to win every football fan's trip of a lifetime, enter now at talksport.com/win.
Morning, weekend sports breakfast on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino. Like a bit of this? Does it mean
the OJs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a musical whiz, sir.
No, my sister was big into sort of Temptations, Miracles, OJ. Yeah, Four Tops, all in bands.
Well, there's a story going around today of what the England team have to offer, but we also had a taste of how much a drink is in stadiums.
Right, okay.
What England had to offer, but it's going to cost you cash.
Now, you tell me what drink, and I'll then say how many bucks it's going to be.
Premium large beer.
Premium large beer.
Go for it.
Being it's World Cup, I'm going to go for ridiculously $12.
You're miles off it, actually.
What?
It's really bad.
Is it higher?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
$12 is about just about nine quid.
Yeah. It's $18.
1 point. Oh, it's 1.5 points worth.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's bigger. Okay, I'll go even at that. I would have said max it can be is $20. It can't be more than that.
$18.
I was gonna say,
£13.44 to get yourself a drink at the stadium.
Still dear, isn't it?
This is even worse. Ultra premium double cocktail.
Double cocktail.
Double cocktail. And it has to, if you're having a cocktail, it has to be double, because it has to be worth your while for the trek, and it takes them ages to make it. So just double up. Sensibly, of course.
Yeah.
But yes.
Double cocktail, $36.
How many?
36.
No, a wee bit cheaper than that. 26.50.
I was going really high because you set the bar high with a beer.
Well, that's 20 quid.
Yeah, I know. But it's ridiculous pricing.
I'd say a double cocktail's maybe like a double gin. Gin and tonic.
That's why I went so high.
Yeah. 26.
Still dear.
$50. But listen, we'll probably just need the water because it's going to be so baking hot.
How much is the water? Have you got that price?
It's probably about $100. That's where they'll get you. Oh, that's a pricey one. Time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And a very good morning for somebody who wouldn't be spending that on a night out, Dave Stevens.
Good morning, Shebahn. Morning, Kath. No, you're absolutely right. But a gin and tonic, I mean, who goes to a football match and drinks a gin and tonic? Come on.
Me.
You go,
Me.
You're fine. Shebahn, you've got the TalkSport expense account, so you'll be absolutely fine. You'll be swanning around America buying $36 cocktails at every stadium, won't you?
Just imagine me putting that through in the expenses.
Yes, indeed. It'd be a similar story here. I really enjoyed, actually, all the World Cup memories. And that's just quite good because...
What's yours, Dave? Come on.
Well, I was glad actually because there were people going back to the 70s, which is which is good. My first one I really remember is 82. England didn't lose a game, but still went out relatively early, and that kind of set the tone for me being an England fan. Obviously, 86 I loved. Hand of God, the greatest goal I've ever seen. Obviously, Diego Maradona, both of them, and then Italia 90. New Order, Nessun Dorma, Gazza's tears. But as I say, the one thing in common, England heartbreaking all of them. Yeah. And I kind of, we didn't make 94. And then after that, it's I've had too much disappointment.
I was at the one in 82, the England-Spain game when Keegan and Brooking came on.
Yeah.
I remember, because I just started playing professional football, so I went to Spain to watch World Cup games.
They just couldn't score in that game. And Brian Robson, the fastest ever goal in the opener, I think 27 seconds.
Was it 27?
I know. We were talking about that earlier on, actually. Yeah.
I cared so much more there. And now I have to be perfectly honest, I work for a bookmaker. An England win would probably be quite expensive, so I can kind of take it or leave it. But look, and last night didn't help, did it? Any England fans that were, trying to get in the mood. Yeah. I think 1-0 England will be a common theme, actually, through the tournament.
Yeah,
but let's talk about Scotland, Shebahn, because 4-0 up at half-time. OK, they couldn't add to it in the second half, but they remain 250 to 1. And you know what? There'll be plenty of Scottish fans having a pound on that.
Yeah.
And why shouldn't they after all this time? But look, more realistically, 1-3 to get out of the group. That's the really good news because... obviously, Scotland have never done that. OK, the tournament is extended. It should be set up for them. But if they can get into that knockout stage, there'll be plenty of teams that don't fancy taking Scotland on a one-off game. So, yeah, I think, certainly in terms of last night's two friendlies, the Scotland game, you got far more value for money than you did watching England.
Yeah. I'd talk about value for money, and I did watch it yesterday, the Epsom Derby and Christmas Day.
Christmas came early.
Oh, yeah.
I'm afraid the pun was obvious. Yeah. Look, he was 16 to 1 into 7 to 1, so there were plenty of punters backing him, but it was a very bizarre. I mean, the weather was horrendous, which was such a shame on the biggest.
What do you expect on Christmas Day?
Well, it was an apt winner, Cass. Honestly, it felt like Christmas, but it was bizarre because the favourite, Benvenuto Cellini, finished 10th, but was declared a non-runner, which is a whole other debate. Ordinarily, bookmakers would deduct on all winning bets because the horse was a non-runner. We've waived that because it would have just been impossible to try and explain to people how a horse that finished 10th was actually a non-runner. So that was yesterday's Derby. I'm expecting slightly better conditions down in Monaco today. I can't believe we've never done one of these Sunday shows from the Monaco Grand Prix. Honestly, come on, Shebahn.
Don't we? We need to sort that out.
But you're paying the bills,
you pay it, Dave. It's on you, pal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good point.
We'll
That's why we're not doing. That's why we're not doing.
It's not TalkSport. It's you guys. They'd be happy.
After the money we had to pay out on yesterday's Derby, that's why we're not. But look, normally at Monaco, whoever gets pole wins. Actually, Kimi Antonelli, although he's odds on 4-9 to win it, Max Verstappen 5-2, Lewis 6-1. He's not as short as ordinarily because we heard earlier from Tom Clayton, of course, there are sort of changes this year that could mean we get a more exciting race. Let's hope so, because as much as we love the glamour of Monte Carlo and Monaco, we could do with a bit more excitement. And France is obviously the place to be because French Open men's final today. looks a great opportunity for Zverev to win his first. It's been a tournament of shocks. He's 2-9 to beat Caboli, who's 3-1. But as I say, a tournament of shocks. Could we see one more today with the Italian beating Zverev? But looks a really good opportunity for the German to finally get a grand. I think it's the first one in 9 Grand Slams that hasn't featured Alcaraz or Sinner, just to show the domination of those two.
It does.
There's me thinking there's not much to talk about in the betting front today.
Yeah, but there's a lot.
I didn't even mention the cricket. I mean,
the cricket.
Which England should wrap up. They're 25-1 on to wrap up today. But listen, it's a brilliant sporting weekend. But keep going with the Scotland music and everything, Shebahn, because that's getting me more in the mood than England is at the moment. So,
well, after that nonsense last night, which means nothing. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. But at least we give you something to watch last night. That's for sure. Listen, Dave, we appreciate you as ever. Book that trip to Monaco next year and we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
All the best. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, gambleaware.org.
By the way, we were touching on how pricey it is to buy a drink at the World Cup. If you are going, it's according to state laws that you may need to show your passport when you're buying a drink at the stadium. So make sure you take that with you before you go. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT.
He's the sort of player, Andy, that you can't really look at age because he could play at this level for another 4 or 5 years at least.
Do you think that long?
Yeah, I do.
31. You think he could be playing?
Doesn't rely on his pace.
No, he doesn't. But it's very rare you get great players. Can even look at Mo Salah, right? Last season before last was. Yeah, I did look at Salah and thought his pace had gone. His just whole game went.
I think when I watched him, he didn't look as quick. But I feel like Bruno Fernandes. Do you know what I mean? You'll find a position for him, even if his legs do go a little bit. He's just that talented. His passing range, mate. Do you know what I mean? Set pieces.
Reported has a £57 million release clause for European clubs. That means he can't throw himself go to Man City. Should the likes of Real Madrid be all over that? Is that a bargain?
I would. If I'm buying Munich, Real Madrid, any club, maybe not PSG, that they've got a very good midfield. But if I'm Manchester United, I'm saying not a chance. 60 million, 70 million, I'll say no. I feel like he's that good to what Manchester United have done in the last season we just had. And going forward, who are you going to buy to replace him?
Yeah. Well, my view earlier on was get the 57, put 43 to it and go out and get Elliot Anderson. Then you're starting again because he's a young kid.
Of course, yeah. But Elliot Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, two different players.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Do you know what I mean? You need to get Elliot Anderson as well as keeping Bruno Fernandes. And how much money will it cost you if you sold Bruno Fernandes? You might get 57 million, but maybe you miss out on Champions League next season. Point.
Yeah.
So
this was, just to remind you, this was Bruno's quote last November. He said, from the club side, I felt a bit of, if you go, it's not really that bad for us. More than hurting. It makes me sad because I'm a player. They have nothing to criticise me for. The fact that Omar Barada came out and didn't give it the old, he'll definitely be here. We'd like him to stay. Of course we do.
Yeah, it's very odd because maybe the club might look at it and say, like you says, 31, 57 million. It's a lot of money. You can rebuild with using that money for another player, but I just think it'd be ridiculous.
Okay.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Good morning. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Sunday morning. Hope you're good. It's Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino, and we could be sending you to the World Cup. We're into the final week of this competition, and come Monday, somebody is going to win the trip of a lifetime. Yep. The tournament's official match ball supplier Adidas could be sending you and a mate to Dallas, Texas. You could be at England's first game against Croatia, 17th of June. Flights, accommodation, spending money, tickets, the official Adidas match ball, the Trionda, all thrown in. For your chance to win, head to talksportwin.com. Text WIN to 83338. Text and online entries cost £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. It's so expensive to go. It's so expensive to get a ticket. We could be sending you there, all thanks to Adidas. Entries must be in by 4 o'clock on Monday. You'll need to answer your phone if it rings. It's 18 plus, UK residents only, a talkSPORT promotion with all of the terms and conditions and entries at talksportwin.com. So for your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338 now, and good luck to you as well. Some of your headlines: Michael van Gerwen sailed to second Nordic Darts Masters crown as the raging Luke Humphries called out the crowd in Copenhagen for whistling. Chris Billum-Smith, magic from him last night. He moved himself back into world title contention after a dramatic stoppage victory over Ryan Rozicki in a bruising cruiserweight clash in Bournemouth. By the way, they were going at it last night. And the US men concluded their pre-World Cup preparations in Chicago with a 2-1 loss against Germany at the Soldier Field in front of a sellout crowd. At least somebody had an attendance yesterday. Some of the turnouts, I was like,
yeah.
Anyway, is anyone out there? Bournemouth's Tyler Adams spoke after the game and gave his thoughts on Areola joining Liverpool.
And then Donny, it's super exciting for him. You know, obviously we were disappointed and upset, obviously, but you come to terms with the decision that he made for himself, leaving Bournemouth, and then for an opportunity like this to pop up, I think he's going to do incredible things at Liverpool. His energy, the way that he plays football, incredible character and incredible person.
Can they win the Premier League?
Can they? Liverpool, absolutely. Under how he plays the game, with the types of players that they have and the style that he's going to want to play, absolutely.
Tyler Adams speaking last night after the defeat to Germany and their send-off. I mean, that's the thing about we were talking about the fan base yesterday, because obviously they don't have a massive football fan base, soccer fan base in America, but you love to see home nations and everybody getting involved, and I'm looking forward to see what kind of turnout for the fan base is.
Well, look, America in itself is so diverse, and it's different parts of the world, and had huge populations that are represented all over the country. The football is supported incredibly out there now. You know, there are two major sports. I'll say all their sports are built on big size, physical players, basketball, but the two main sports is American football, certainly, and baseball, isn't it? That's probably the two biggest.
Yeah.
So soccer is playing a big part out there now.
Yeah, it's always been massive for women, hasn't it?
Yeah, women definitely.
It's always been bigger.
More the northeast coast as well, sort of coming in from, coming down from Atlanta to down into Pennsylvania. Women's football has grown incredibly in Pennsylvania.
Looking forward to it. It's just around the corner. 4 days to the World Cup. You've been sending in your nostalgic World Cup moments to us today. Keep them coming in. 81089. Looking forward to it, and all 104 matches are going to be live here on the talkSPORT network. It's time now for this.
Yeah, back to actually do some papers now. How about that?
Yeah.
Good, isn't it? Let's have a look at the back pages.
Telegram Sam.
And if we get a chance, I might dip into the front pages as well. I've got a little story for you. I wouldn't mind your thoughts on. But we'll start with a bit of David Moyes, who's in the Sunday Times this morning, who I think, Shebahn, I've been told, we may see in Miami.
Oh, I thought you were going to say his uncle, and I was like, no, that was a joke. I've been saying for you. He's not, but
We may see him apparently out and about when we're on our travels in the States.
Brilliant. Looking forward to it.
Good. But he's in the paper this morning, a little piece on the World Cup and his thoughts on what might happen. And he says he fancies the South American side for victory. And it goes into a few details about the importance of defence and various other things. But he talks here about how number 9s are back in fashion, which I'm sure, Cass, is music to your ears. After a phase where false 9s ruled, the traditional striker is important again. From Erling Haaland to Victor Gyökeres to Igor Thiago, they played a big part in this season's Premier League, and those three are part of this World Cup, along with the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Romelu Lukaku, I think people have forgotten about Lukaku, Edin Dzeko, Patrick Schick, Josef El-Neziri, and of course Harry Kane. Wing play is back in fashion too, but the best modern wide players are those like Bukayo Saka, Jeremy Doku and Kvaratskhelia, who excel in 1v1s but look to come inside and shoot or assist with a pass. There seem to be fewer than ever who go outside a fullback and look to cross. Yet, if number 9s are important again, don't we need more of these wide players with traditional crossing skills, the David Beckhams, or, for Scots of my generation, the John Robertsons?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm even more. I want to see number 9 with a number 10. I want to see someone alongside
Big
him.
man, little man.
Well, to just someone throwing a spanner, in the works. I mean, it's interesting because Didier Deschamps, who's won a World Cup in 2018 and has been a manager for France for a long time, he will probably play Thuram for France. Mbappe will probably play on the left, and it will be. I don't think it'll be a Doué. I think it'll be Elise for France, and they're going with. I think a traditional number 9.
So you think Dembele won't start? That's what you're saying.
I don't think Dembele will start. I think because he's played Benzema in that role. He's had Giroud in that role for France. They go back to '98 when they won it. They had Givash, who played, who was in the team, didn't score, but played that role. So I wouldn't be surprised if Didier Deschamps does that. And there was a number of teams. You mentioned a lot of number 9s have been. You only have to think of Ivan Toney being called into the squad. What has he been called in for that role? Whether he'll start, I doubt. But there's a lot more teams who have opted for a number 9.
Yeah, I really think, Shebahn, as well, like, for example, with Lawrence Shankland, I think he's given Steve Clarke a dilemma. I do, because he is that out-and-out goal scorer that, maybe you don't have to go on and win a World Cup. You can play a different way. But I think if you've got somebody like that who is potent, who can get you a goal, it's so important, isn't it, in the big moments to have somebody like that?
Also, football, if you go back to where it all starts, it's all about entertainment. Why don't we want to see more of that? And I know we're trying to do something we've never done before and get out of the group, but the last couple of games, we have seen goals being scored, and Lawrence Shankland is on that form. Play him, do the Shea Adams thing. That was a perfect link-up last night. It worked really well. I think we want to see that. I mean, we're not Steve Clarke. And
Gannon Doak out wide.
Gannon Doak, by the way.
What do they want? What does a winger want?
Absolutely.
Someone to hit.
100%.
And that's the thing, Gannon Doak, he's such a creative player, and he's not afraid to make those runs.
No.
And he was taking anybody. He was going for it last night. And I said to you guys this morning, I was going, right, somebody get him off, wrap him up in cotton wool, because he's got such flair and such determination. You want to see that from a team.
And I think Thomas Tuchel's going down that direction, isn't he, with the likes of Anthony Gordon, who seems to be maybe favoured, or Rashford, but certainly Gordon. Do you think that he's the answer to being able to provide the best for Harry Kane?
I think there's a bit more to come from Anthony Gordon, because if you're going to be a wide man, you've got to be consistent with your crossing. You've got to be able to deliver it and put it on a sixpence for a centre forward, because, it's hard enough when you're on your own up front, but also you've got to lose defenders or get half a yard on them. So you've got to be precise, and I think that's the most important thing. But there's a lot of teams that will have a number 9 leading the line and also having wingers that are going to get to certain areas of the pitch that can cause havoc.
Yeah, and that's good. And I think there's a lot of interesting things that David Moyes agrees with you, by the way. He also talks about pressing and how he thinks it might be more of a half press because of the energy it takes to press fully, which is a really interesting point. So you might see teams sort of sitting back a little bit more and only pressing when they really have to, rather than to try and use up all that energy to try and press, so because of the heat. So that very interesting insight from David Moyes in the paper this morning. Also talk about Mike McGrath, this is writing in the Telegraph in Tampa. Thomas Tuchel's staff may use iPads and laptops during the World Cup's controversial mid-match water breaks, but the England manager will bring out a magnetic whiteboard to give players his tactical messages. One of the lasting images of FIFA's new water breaks has been US head coach Mauricio Pochettino speaking to his team while huddled around a MacBook as players drank. It sparked a row over managers using the hydration break for player welfare to their own advantage. Do you think that it shouldn't be used for tactical reasons?
But, I mean, years gone by, if you had a break or an injury or something happen, players would just talk. Are you going to stop them from talking? So they got to stand there just having a drink. Because if you don't let them use their iPads or, whatever computer, whatever they're going to have with them, They're still going to talk.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
They're going to.
Yeah, I don't know how you can avoid it, really,
Yeah,
in some ways.
it's nearly impossible. And you used to say, well, you're not allowed to talk either. And I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Shebahn, do you mind the idea that the water breaks are used for something productive from the club's coach's side?
I think, as Cass says, they're just going to do it anyway. You know, if you've got that opportunity for everyone to stand and have a drink of water, maybe they don't be holding their laptops, but either way, they're still going to get their message across.
You're going to say something to somebody, aren't you? If you want someone to do something, them words are going to be said. I don't know how you can stop that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly that.
Well, either way, Sam.
Have you got that quick little story, Sam?
Yeah, what was your...
I'll try and bring it to you. Yes, that's what I was just searching for. I had it ready, and all of a sudden I've lost it again.
Look at you searching frantic.
It's to do with. Here we are. I found it. Here we are.
Oh, he's got it.
Here we are. Problem averted, folks. Butterfingers Brits have a habit of dropping things, with 60% of us spilling food or drink at least once a day.
Oh, I'm a state.
Cardiff was home to the biggest bunglers, apparently, with 68% admitting to making a mess at home on a daily basis. Geordies were least likely to be cat-candid. The most common stains include tea, coffee, red wine, pasta sauce, fake tan, makeup, and chocolate. What do you reckon, Shebahn? Are you a nightmare for dropping stuff down your front?
Klutzy and clumsy, and I mean, I don't know how many wine glasses I've smashed. I'm known for it. I'm known for smashing wine glasses. So yeah.
I must be Welsh because
you clumsy
if Cardiff is the highest, I'm always dropping stuff.
Are you?
Yeah, always.
What's the worst? What's you most guilty of? You put your phone down the loo.
Well, I normally go for a nibble, and I'm being naughty, so I try and be quiet and go in the cupboard, and then suddenly I'll knock a jam, a pop.
He's in the fridge again.
And my missus has got incredible senses, which she'll know, and she'll shout, "Are you in them cupboards?" I feel like I'm 4.
Fat shaming you.
I can't.
I dropped my tannin drops one day on the ground in the bathroom, and they smashed, and they went all over my feet, and I had like this weird. I mean, it was like proper dark patches all over my feet.
That's a nightmare.
For months, it stayed on forever.
I can't go out in a white T-shirt because I feel like I always spill something down it. Yeah. Always out for dinner, inevitably. And then you ruin the night, then, haven't you? Because you're always conscious about it. Whenever
you look a giant baby with a big.
I know, you need a bib.
Yeah.
I know, it's awful.
Pure ick, man.
Not
Lucky
good.
You're married, Sam.
All I've got to look forward to, Shebahn, when we go away together.
You listen to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up, we'll be asking how prepared are England for this World Cup.
To be considered a big club, like the likes of Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea.
What, Man City's bigger than Arsenal?
Well, in Europe they are. They've won the competition.
Cool, they won the... But what are we saying? Are we talking about trophies, or are we talking about...
I'm talking about dining at the top table with all the big heads that have won it. Do you think you need...
What, so we're only basing this on Europe? So if you win the European Cup, that means you're a big club?
In Europe.
Well, are we not going off all the trophies that we've won?
We haven't won that many.
We've won
Arsenal? Are you joking?
Well, okay, take FA Cups out of it.
No, forget FA Cups. Leagues.
You can include it.
We've won more Premier Leagues than Liverpool.
I know, but I'm just saying, my question is, do you think you need to win Europe's biggest competition to be considered a big club?
No, because I think we are one of the biggest clubs in the world anyway. And that'll just be a cherry on top.
We are. I don't think you're in the top 10.
You idiots. Are you talking about your local pub, or are you talking about the world?
You're certainly not in the top 5.
In the world?
Yeah.
Oh.
Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name is Shebahn Aherne from Millwall, and Marseille striker Tony Cascarino is here. Some of your headlines this morning: Rio and Gamoa shone on the international debut stage as England swept New Zealand aside in Tampa. Mira Andreeva became the youngest woman to win the French Open after beating Maja Walinska yesterday, and Wigan Warriors put Catalan Dragons to the sword, beating the French side 40-16 in Paris for the first Super League game in the French capital since 1997. Now, shall we speak to this man?
We know we ain't no Argentina, but we got John McGinn, and Robbo out on the wing, no Scotland, no party, Steve Clark's Tartan Army, and even if we do...
Yes, the man behind this banger. Even the English like this song. Welcome to the show, Nick Morgan. Good morning, sir. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, Shebahn.
Good morning.
How are you doing? All right, Tony? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, good. We got a bit Scotland crazy in the last hour or so.
All right, it's been a bit mental. The build-up's happening now. All the buzz is happening, so looking forward to it.
Don't worry about it, Nick. I mean, they never mention us any other time, so we can have one day to enjoy being Scottish. Just that song, Nick. We were talking about this yesterday. I know that you've got a new one out, and we're going to play that very, very soon.
All
Scotland's
right.
on Fire, but that song, it really did hit differently, didn't it? Because I think there was even reports that the team enjoyed that song, and I mean, Sam and I were at a Matchday -1 event in Munich before the game in Germany, and it was on repeat, and like Sir Alex Ferguson and stuff was like, well, bobbing along. I'm not sure he was doing that, but he looked happy with the song as well. It went everywhere.
It's just crazy. I still can't believe it, how big it went. And it's just, I feel so grateful just for the Tartan Army and the Scottish people for like taking that song on and making that their kind of song of the Euros. And then after the Euros, I think there are some of the away games, the Scotland away games, I was sent videos of the fans still playing it and singing it. So that's why I kind of decided to release a World Cup version as well, just for the America and a different market and just something else the fans can enjoy, really. But I'm really grateful for how well it's done and how everyone's taken it on.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Nick, I remember my first experience of Tartan Army was back in the 70s, and I went to watch England versus Scotland at Wembley. It was the famous one where Scotland fans were on the pitch and on the crossbars. Right. I've never seen an invasion of any, like Scotland had that day. It was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the Scotland fans are all about, isn't it, really? The same as the song, there's no Scotland, no party. That's the theme of that, no Scotland, no party, is that we know we're not Argentina, like, we'll just be happy to get to the group stage, but either way, we're just there to enjoy it and have fun. So that's the kind of theme of the song. I think that's what it's all about, being Scottish and being a Scottish fan, really.
Did you write it, Nick? Was it all down to you, the lyrics and...
Yeah, well, that's how the song came about. So that's why it's got attention in Argentina, because initially it was a song written for Maradona called La Mano de Dios. And when Maradona passed away, there was all these like tributes on social media to him. And then I came across this one random video of Maradona singing a song in like a pub, and his family were there, and it was so catchy. But it was all in Spanish, so I didn't know what it was about. But I just remember it being such a catchy song. I looked more into it, and it was called La Mano de Dios, and it translated into the hand of God. So I thought, wow, this could be perfect. So I just really reworked the song, a different vibe to it, a different genre, different lyrics, obviously made it a bit more poppy and just for the Scottish fans. So that's how it came about. So yeah, all the lyrics and in terms of instrumentations, all me, yeah, it was great. So that's how it came about.
Well, it's hard for a follow-up to that one, isn't it?
It is, but you've got one. And actually, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were even saying Scotland's on fire, and that is you, Nick Morgan. Listen, last time we played Brazil was in 1998. How old were you then?
I was 14. I remember I rushed home from school. I don't know if we got off early for the game, but I do. That's like one of my core memories of the World Cup. My first kind of World Cup memory, to be honest, is rushing home from school and going to my mate's house and watching that Brazil-Scotland game. So I've been doing a school tour as well around the whole of Scotland for all the schools around Scotland. I've been in the Isles, the Highlands, the Borders. That's been on the last month. So the point of that was to try and help create kind of core memories for the kids as well, because it'll be their first World Cup they've experienced. So that was the point of the tour. So hopefully I've achieved that and they can look back in years to come.
See, that's what's special to me as well, because I know your memories of France, but that's 98. There isn't much of a time difference. But many World Cups is late in the night or early in the morning and these different times. And if you, like you say, you're going at school, you might be rushing back for a game to watch.
Yeah, especially this one. It's the first game, 2 a.m. UK
2 in the
time.
morning, yeah. But am I right in thinking some parts of Scotland have given a bank holiday? So some kids will be off school. So I think some people have said, no, we're not for it. But some areas will give the kids the day off school, which is brilliant.
Yeah, which is great. Aye, that's what it's all about. So, as I say, it's the first one in 28 years. So it's going to be huge.
We
It's
have
massive.
we have to
Massive.
make the most of it. We really do. Are you getting out there, Nick? Have you got any plans?
Yes, I'm going out. I will be out. I leave on the 12th. So I'm in Boston for the first 2 games. And then we'll be flying to Miami. And then hopefully, if we qualify, I can stay.
So you'll need some budget, Nick, by the sounds of it.
That's the worry. That is the worry.
Well,
So-
don't worry. The tunes will be bringing in the cash. Don't worry about it, Nick. We've got your new one with us now. This is Scotland's on Fire. Give it a blast, DJ James. You went proper bouncy with that one, Nick. You targeted the Scottish people well. We love a good party.
It's a total different vibe to know Scotland. This one's about basically how far you're willing to ruin your life to go to the World Cup, leave your wife, quit your job, get in debt. So it's definitely not as wholesome as no Scotland or party, but it's that's what I went. I just want to go with something completely different.
And
You know what I mean?
is it being received well? Going well?
Aye, it's difficult because I've released the new version of Scotland Party, and obviously people are liking that, and that's the main one. But it's just trying to get it out there. So it's great you guys are playing it and helping support it because but the response has been great for it so far. So hopefully it's just another one that the fans can enjoy in America.
It does help if the team goes well, as you know, Nick.
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, in Germany when we lost to Hungary, I was really gutted because the song started to build a lot of traction in Germany. You had all the Germans singing it, and I feel as though if it just went through, it would have went to another level. So as you see, Tori, it's just if we get to the group stages, it could be huge.
Well, listen, Nick, I'm excited for you. Look forward to seeing you out there again. It's been a big year for you. So hopefully Scotland's on fire does well. Hopefully Scotland get out of the group and we have a good old party as well. We'll see you out there, okay?
Thanks again,
Cheers,
guys.
Nick.
Bye-bye.
Morgan
Bye-bye.
there, Scottish singer-songwriter. Looking forward to the World Cup. Stay with us on the Weekend Sports Breakfast. We're going to be looking back on the Epsom Derby and we'll be talking to pop idol Scottish royalty with you next on Weekend Breakfast.
I remember going back a couple of years when he was linked with a move to Real Madrid, and Bournemouth fell off a cliff after that because he seemed to be sort of wavered by what happened with the attention that came his way when the big boys came calling. So he's got to almost mature himself. Let's a couple of years down the line, maybe he will be able to handle it a little bit better this time around. But if Liverpool had any reservations, I would imagine that would be one of them. Bournemouth finished 6th last season, 1 position and 3 points behind Liverpool in the league. They qualified for next season's Europa League. What represents success for Andoni Iraola this time around, Crook?
It's a brilliant question. Winning the title, I guess, would be the aspiration, because Arne Slot achieved that in his first season. Jurgen Klopp won it as well. So I think that there'll be the high standards that he'll be asked to try and achieve. Obviously, the bare minimum is Champions League football. And in fairness, Arne Slot did achieve that, but they can't afford to lose the number of games that they did last season. Actually, if you go back to the start of his...
There's a lot of talk about the independent football regulator. Some people love the sound of it, others don't. But what actually is it? And is it going to be any good for the game? In simple terms, it'll be an organisation not controlled by the Premier League, the EFL or the government, which will make sure all clubs are financially stable and don't rip off the fans. The aim is to make sure what happened to Bury, Derby and Reading doesn't happen again. Now, a significant reason clubs go under is because of dodgy owners financially mismanaging the club and running it into the ground. But in theory, these should be a thing of the past with the new regulator. They'll be able to use data from the National Crime Agency to perform stronger fit and proper persons tests, and can even force owners to give up their stake in a club, which for certain supporters might be a welcome relief. It's likely good news for the EFL. The tension between them and the Premier League over a fair financial deal has been increasing in recent years. As it stands, talks have broken down. The Premier League backed out of recent negotiations, but the regulator will have the power to force through a deal, meaning more money for clubs lower down the pyramid. Now, this might sound simple, but in reality there's concerns this will open a legal can of worms, which could result in messy court cases involving the Premier League and the regulator. Parachute payments will be brought under the control of the regulator too. If they reduce them, it could mean a wider variety of clubs securing promotion to the top flight, but critics reckon it'll just mean the gap between the Premier League and EFL actually widens, as promoted clubs won't get as much money, which should normally be used to buy better players so they can compete. And current Premier League clubs have said if there were no parachute payments, they'd actually invest less, which would harm the quality of the top flight. And if clubs don't invest, then you'll get exactly what the EFL don't want, which is the same 3 clubs going down every year. And remember when Cardiff's owners changed the club's colours and badge? Well, in future, fans will have to approve any major changes to their club's heritage. Now, that might all sound great, but do we really need it? Some say the downfall of Reading and Bury is an exception, not the rule. So as a whole, the most successful footballing pyramid in world football doesn't need regulation. They say it scares investors who can help grow the game. If those investors go elsewhere, well, the Premier League may no longer be the destination for the best players in the world. And others, well, they just don't trust politicians to appoint truly independent people to regulate our game.
Good morning, welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall and Gillingham striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
So England beat New Zealand 1-0 in Florida last night as the clock ticks down to England's opening game against Croatia. Anthony Gordon says the vibes are good.
When you got this calibre of player in every position, you have to believe. But the thing that makes you believe the most is the togetherness, is the camaraderie off the pitch, which is the best I've been a part of in an England team so far.
In other news, David Sullivan has announced he's stepping down as co-chairman of West Ham. Jacob Steinberg, football reporter for The Guardian, says it will come as a relief for some West Ham fans.
Become so unpopular with the club's fan base because of the way that he's done things, especially in the last few years, that's ultimately led to them going down this season into the Championship.
And Scotland ended their World Cup prep but with a 4-0 thrashing of Bolivia. Are they ready to make their mark at this World Cup? Steve Clarke says they're not quite there yet.
There's still a bit of work to be done. Some good moments today, but obviously some moments as well that I can see where we can do a little bit better.
Steve Clarke there. We're building up. 4 days to go. You've been sending in your World Cup memories. We'll get into them very, very soon. Keep them coming in. Lots of Scottish people getting involved about 1998, but we're talking to England fans. Wherever you are in the world, at 81089, what is your World Cup memories? On the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. We focused on it earlier on in the show. England's performance against New Zealand yesterday, 1-0. It doesn't matter. The result doesn't mean anything. I thought you'd have seen more than one goal against the side who's ranked 85th in the world and the lowest ranked team in the tournament, but it was Harry Kane's goal that made the difference. Anthony Gordon spoke to Faker others after the game about the team needing to learn to gel with each other's playing styles.
It's just, again, playing with the players, because we don't play with each other for so long. It's getting used to people's tendencies. Like you said, getting used to the pitch, because it might not seem like a big deal, but it changes a lot because you have to readjust your game in many ways. So yeah, it's just all of that, and then dealing with the heat. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell the heat was a lot for them last night. You could see that in the performance as well, which is more than expected. Who do you think starts, Gordon or Rashford?
Oh.
Well,
it's a tricky one. If you want to get your winger to the byline, I'd probably say it's more likely Gordon. If you want a player to cut inside like Rashford can and then dink balls into areas where it allows Kane to get across somebody and get the type of goal we got last night that Jed Spencer put in, that type of ball. But it's going to be a close race on that one between Rashford and Gordon. And that's what you want, competition. Do you know the standout feature of me for England? I think they've got a lot of players in that squad who are good characters.
Yeah.
From Kane, Rice, Saka, Mark Gahey, Elliot Anderson, and there's others. I've missed a few out. Pickford, the keeper. I think they've got a really good, you can see a really good feel about the atmosphere within the camp.
Well, Anthony Gordon said that, didn't he? He said there's a real good spirit and togetherness with this group. But from what you saw yesterday, can't read too much into it, but have you seen enough to know that they're fully prepared ahead of this World Cup?
Well, I would say, look, it'll be on the opening game of the tournament, which is obviously you're playing the best team in your group. I would argue that the England games that they've got is that Croatia is their toughest one. Okay, it's their opening game. Yeah. So they've got to go in there absolutely full on the pedal to play against a very dangerous side that have always overachieved Croatia. And yes, they've had a lot of experience. Croatia still today have a massive amount of experience in their group. So it's a tough challenge. All you want them is to focus on that game because that is the toughest one you're going to start with.
Are they ready?
Oh, well, they will be. Of course they will. I think they'll definitely be ready by Wednesday week. Yeah, and there will be hard training sessions and I don't think we can assess too much by playing New Zealand in the opening game of before, you go and get into the hard stuff, which is going to be the competition time.
Okay. All 104 matches from the World Cup live on the talkSPORT network. Do not miss a thing with us. Download the talkSPORT app and you simply won't miss a thing. Right, everybody get your water bottles or your pens and sing into them. Let's do this.
This time yesterday, I thought I was gonna die.
Honestly, an underrated banger still. Michelle McManus, winner of Pop Idol, Scotland legend, Scotland fan, is with us this morning on the Weekend Sports Breakfast. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Yeah, great.
Great. You look brilliant. The coral hair is matching the top, Michelle.
Well, I mean, only me and Russ Abbott have ever had this hair colour. So I don't to see you. Jimmy has. And it's kind of like very Iron Brew-esque, and it goes with my Scotland top. So I thought, why not match for the World Cup? I like to match.
It's perfect.
I'm sure you're very excited leading up to the World Cup, Michelle.
Listen, I was working last night, Tony, and I came out. I was hosting a big ball, and I came out to Hilton, and the first thing I did was check the Scotland score. Saw the score, and I was like, "Oh my God, we're going to win the World Cup! That's it, done. We've just thrashed Bolivia. That's it." Because that's what every Scotland fan woke up thinking this morning. This is it. Game's a good one.
This is what we do, don't we? We get ahead of ourselves, Michelle. We really do.
The hope will kill us, Shebahn, but we don't care. We go back for more.
Exactly, every single time. Tell us about the feeling in your house, and I know you're a massive football family, Michelle. And you know, what are you guys doing to kind of get into World Cup fever?
So it's so good, right? So I'm part of a mixed marriage here because I'm a Celtic fan and my husband's a Rangers fan, which I know is quite contentious. And we've got 2 wee boys. So for the first time, the 4 of us have come together, and we are. I can't tell you, my children are 6 and 4. I listen downstairs, and every time my husband brings home a new pack of football stickers, they're screaming because they got a shiny or they got someone's, you know, a striker from the country they wanted. So the whole country, like, I'm wearing my Scotland top this morning, but this was not, you know, this is not like a special occasion. Like, you walk about Scotland right now and everyone is in Scotland tops. Like, you can feel this whole thing building. It's actually amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good for the soul.
So how do you do about your kids? You said you've got 2 boys, 4 and 6. So is one of them Celtic and one of them Rangers?
Yeah,
or
you're
are they
splitting
both...
that up. Well, here's the thing, Tony. We pretend to my husband that they're both Rangers, right? But when my husband's not listening, they'll turn around and give me a wink and go, "We really support Celtic, mummy." And I'm like, "Good boys, good boys." But it's all fun. It's all fun in the house.
Yeah, great.
Oh, listen, I mean, you've had the chance to sing at a lot of events over your career. Have you ever had the chance to sing Flower of Scotland? Because for me, that's the best national anthem in the world. And obviously I would say that. But I mean, it means a lot to everybody. People love our national anthem.
Do you know, I've been so lucky, Shebahn. I've sang it, whether it's been the football and the rugby, but I had a disaster once. I sang it years ago. Ricky Burns, the boxer, was boxing at the SEC, and there was like 20,000 people there. So I was asked to sing the national anthem, went along, and I had never actually attended a boxing match or seen a full-size boxing ring before. So, spoiler alert, it's huge, and there's no stairs to get up to it, you know, and I'm a big bitty a woman, so first of all I had to get airlifted onto the side of the ring, and 2 guys basically slipped a disc and they wouldn't lower the ropes, and I was like, how am I going to get in the middle of the ring? And the only way I can describe to you me getting in that ring was like trying to force a St Bernard through a cat flap, but somehow I managed to get in, and I sang the national anthem, and I managed to get back out just in time before Ricky Burns and the Mexican guy was fighting ding ding for round 1. So that was slightly awkward in front of all those fans, but it was a great experience. It's always great and such a great honour to sing the national anthem at these massive events. I did it at the Commonwealth Games as well. It was just, I was very, very lucky.
I'm going to use that one. It's a burner through a cat flap.
Honestly, listen, I was double spanked as well, Tony. I don't know if that means anything to you, but there was not a lot of bend what was happening either, so I was like getting buttered up and just popped in.
Oh, Michelle, that's why we love you. Great chat, great chat. Listen, tell us about your best memories. Obviously, we have one to focus on for yourself. That would be '98 Scotland at the World Cup. What's your memories of then?
So I was 18, Shebahn, and I was in my heyday, hitting the pubs in Glasgow, going out, not now, but I'm like 46 and in my bed by 9 o'clock at night. I don't know how I'm going to cope with these games, by the way, Haiti, Morocco and Brazil. I'm going to have to make a special, go for a nap in the afternoon to make sure I see them. But I remember, because you'll remember, right, that first game, I think we get thrashed. I think was it 3-0 or something against Morocco. And then we came back. I'm sure we drew with Norway, and then everything was on the Brazil game. And the absolute heartbreak, because obviously Brazil scored first, right? And then Johnny Collins with that penalty, and then the OG. And it was just, it was heartbreaking. And again, it's the hope that we'll carry, because Brazil, right? Scotland are never going into a match with Brazil thinking, we're going to win this. Are we really? It's never going to happen. And then for a split second, it looked like it might. We were in with a chance. And it was just, you heard the whole nation sigh, and it was heartbreaking. But, you know, I sometimes think the Tartan Army function better with heartbreak than we ever do winning. We don't know what to do when we win, do we? We're not quite sure. But we function. I've got a lot of sad songs to sing afterwards as well. And everybody had a couple of whiskies and they're sorted, and everybody's laughing and joking again within 10 minutes. So, but this is so exciting. It's almost history repeating itself again, into with Morocco and Brazil. Obviously, Haiti's the big one. We need to pick up the points against Haiti. If we can do that, I mean, you aim for third, right? But the way the World Cup's set up this year as well, there's a real chance of us potentially, I don't want to jinx it, if we can finish in a good place in third and get something out the other 2 games, even just a point or something, there's that hope, isn't there?
Yeah. Anything else you're looking forward to, the World Cup? Obviously, you've talked about the fans, the results, and, just being with your boys and watching the games. If I know they're awkward times, but, it will be their first experience of a World Cup.
Tony, you've just hit the nail on the head. It's memories, isn't it? You're asking me what my memories are. It's memories for my kids and my wee boys, and engaging them as well, and that national pride, because we're a really proud nation. I'm sure you know that, sitting beside Shebahn, every other weekend, but we're such a proud nation. But something like this, it just goes from 0 to 100, right? And it's being together, and it's the possibility of us. Imagine we make it past those group stages, and we get to stay more than 2 weeks for all the people that have spent all that money going over to America. It would be.
Well,
and also getting to see all the other countries too, isn't it? It's not just it's for my wee boys getting to see all these other countries playing.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. You've made me.
Well, you can't choose between Ireland and Scotland.
Well, it's definitely Scotland this time, isn't it?
Listen, I'm not far behind you. Half my family are Irish as well, Shebahn. But
don't forget where you come from, Michelle. Exactly that.
Listen, I know, and as I said, Shebahn and I in our heyday, we would have been out partying and watching that game live. You're younger than me, Shebahn, now, but when you were kicking about with an old woman, when we were in Glasgow working together, we've got a fair few stories.
Well, I'll tell you some off air, Cass.
Oh, do not tell them on air, please.
You need a night out with Michelle, but like you say, it all changed days now. Now you're in bed at 9 o'clock.
I just keep thinking of St Bernard.
Yeah,
I know. Honestly, just thinking me, a size 22 woman at the time, trying to get in a boxing ring, and they refused to lower the ropes for me, Tony. It was shocking. Imagine not helping the lassie out.
Well, let's go back and sue them, Michelle.
But I'll tell you what, the 2 guys that were pushing my butt behind me that didn't seem too upset about it. They were fine, and then just popped me in, my wee bookie in the ring.
Michelle, can't wait to speak to you again soon. To you and your family, enjoy the World Cup, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for coming.
Cheers, Michelle. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Michelle McManus there, Pop Idol winner.
She could easily do comedy.
She's brilliant. No, she does do a bit of comedy.
I was going to say, she could do stand-up all day long.
She does one-woman shows, and then what's amazing is that she's got one of the best voices I've ever heard, and then she'll sing as well. So not only is she funny, got a bit of chat, she can sing as well. She's a very good friend of mine, and we go way back to pantomime days together.
Brilliant.
So yeah, Michelle McManus there. Don't forget, Scotland's first game against Haiti, live at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Is that
or Saturday night?
By the way, is that like sometimes these analogies you give of, say, like a St Bernard for a cat.
I've not heard that one.
No, I've not heard it, but you get certain ones in certain areas. Just when you hear them randomly, they're brilliant. You just think it's very funny because the image just sort of flashes in your head, doesn't it?
I mean, that's another song as well. All This Time. I mean, I remember watching Michelle on TV and her winning Pop Idol, and that song being just such a cracker. Whack that on a little bit later on, DJ James. Don't forget, England also taking part in the World Cup, of course. Their final warm-up game took place yesterday. Actually, it takes place on Wednesday. That wasn't the final warm-up one. It's against Costa Rica. Wednesday, it's going to be live on talkSPORT. Kicks off at 9 p.m. We'll obviously have that all. Coming up next, talkSPORT's Ian Abrahams will be with us to talk more about David Sullivan stepping down from West Ham. And we'll look back on the Epsom Derby, which saw success on Christmas Day. More on that next.
when you get these Arsenal fans ranting and raving and saying some of the things that they do, and then you get this nitwit over here popping up with his little brand of observation in social media.
What, Piers?
Yeah.
Little brand of 9 million followers.
Whatever, how many followers you've got, Piers.
Well, a lot more than you, Sancho.
Fantastic, but I don't judge my
It's
work
not a
by
little
that.
brand.
But I don't judge myself by those numbers.
This is a little brand. My YouTube channel is 4.5 million subscribers.
I'm delighted.
I have 9 million followers on X. So when I say something to 9 million
I'm delighted.
people, I'm saying it to a lot more millions than you.
I'm delighted.
Yeah, but it's not a little brand. I'm not a little nitwit.
No, I'm delighted.
You may not like what I say.
I'm delighted.
But the platform I have is infinitesimally
I'm delighted.
bigger than yours.
I'm delighted. You've pivoted into the digital world. And hung on by your fingertips, right? But the bottom line is I'm looking at the content. I'm looking at the content, and you're asking me why.
Yes.
People are reacting negatively to what's being said. So I floated the idea without a great deal of commitment to it that silly comments that are antagonistic made by nitwits like him with big audiences.
What silly
Is that
comment?
better?
Well, give me a silly
Well,
comment.
I don't study your feed, but every now and again you
Give me one example.
You pop up with observations
Well, give
about
me one
Arsenal
that's silly.
inflammatory. I don't know. I can look for it in a second.
Exactly. You can't think of one. You just said it.
Every now and again.
You just literally said that. And you can't tell me a single thing I've said
every now and
which
again,
is silly.
I see you make an
Give me
observation.
one.
Well, I'll find one in a second.
You can't, can you?
Because I don't
You've
write them
literally
down.
just made that up.
Because I don't write
You've
them
made
down.
that up.
Right.
You just said he said.
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. Because this summer, you and a mate could be jetting off to watch England versus Panama in New Jersey live at the FIFA World Cup 2026 with Adidas, including tickets, flights, accommodation and more. Go to talksport.com/win to enter now, and you could be soaking up the incredible atmosphere at the FIFA World Cup 2026. For the chance to win every football fan's trip of a lifetime, enter now at talksport.com/win.
It's coming, football's coming home. It's coming home.
You're listening to Radio Scotland because now we've got the first England song. Do you think they're doing that in Scotland? Playing England song?
No. I know that.
So what Scottish guests you got next? We've literally interviewed everybody from Scotland.
I know. It's been enjoyable. It's been nice.
It's been funny. Very funny, Michelle. That was very funny.
She's a good laugh, I have to say.
Yeah.
You'd have good fun with her on a night out. Maybe 10 years ago.
Well, you wouldn't be having a night in, would you? Because I think it'd be literally crazy.
She sang at my wedding, Michelle.
Yeah? Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Brought the house down. Yeah, it was great fun. Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. Loads more coming up for you here on talkSPORT today. Sunday edition on the way with Sean Custis and Darren Lewis from 10 o'clock this morning. Haven't seen Darren in ages.
No, not
bad. See Darren. 12 o'clock, it's the warm-up. Max Rushton and Barry Glendenning. And then this afternoon, Sam Ellard is here from 2 o'clock on the Sunday session. Updates on the Monaco Grand Prix plus the cricket. And then 6 o'clock, it's the final word with Majestic and Darren Ambrose. 9 p.m, Andy Brassell brings you the Trans-Euro Express alongside Kev Hatchard, Real Madrid presidential candidate situation all going down over the weekend, so they'll have the latest on that for you as well. Keep it talkSPORT, download the talkSPORT app and you will not miss a thing. So the news came out yesterday that West Ham co-chairman David Sullivan is standing down, so we thought we'd reach out to our resident Hammer to get his views on the whole situation. Good morning to Ian the Moose Abrahams. How are you, sir?
Hi, Abes.
I'm all right. If you keep playing Three Lions, I'll have to insist that we play Ali's Army from 1978.
Yes, I heard we need to get this one. Somebody messaged about that as well. We'll dig it out, Moose.
Yeah, it's not a proud record for Scottish football fans, Shebahn.
Okay then, we won't play it.
Abes, come on, tell us what you've been making of the last few days and West Ham.
Listen, it can only be good news for West Ham. The fans have wanted Karen Brady, who left obviously 6 weeks ago, whatever it was, and David Sullivan out of the club. And there are many reasons for that. I think there will always never forgive them for taking West Ham from Upton Park to the Olympic Stadium. A deal which, by the way, I believe every chairman in the country would have done, having struck the deal that Karen Brady did with the then London Mayor Boris Johnson. But still, it was ripping out the heart of West Ham's soul, changing the club badge to what it is now, which is trying to promote it as being the London club. Well, there are lots of London clubs. Chelsea have done the same. They go to Chelsea now, and on the screen it's all about being in London. Fulham promote themselves as being London's original football club, which I think they actually probably were. But the point was that West Ham's badge before, with the castle and the hammers across it, it was their history badge. But that was done away with as well. And then the promise of world-class football in a world-class stadium, which was just clearly not going to be the case. Firstly, the London Stadium is not a world-class football stadium, never will be. Secondly, world-class football. West Ham won a European trophy. That was it, the Conference League. Okay, first trophy they won in over 40 years. But that's not success. It wasn't world-class football that had been brought to West Ham. It was won by David Moyes and the players that season, putting in an awful lot of hard work. No world superstars really were there. And it had been preceded by quite a lot of wasted money on wasted players and vanity signings from David Sullivan. And afterwards came pretty much the same. Cheap managers coming in who were out of work, players who weren't really good enough and to a certain extent, not what West Ham needed to fulfil that particular quote. The other thing which I'm not going to touch on too much at the moment, obviously because there could well be a documentary on TV tomorrow about it, is that West Ham did need David Sullivan out of the club. Otherwise, if things are not found in David Sullivan's way, then it could be very adverse to West Ham and its history going forward.
Where do they go? Next. What happens for them next, Miss?
To West Ham?
Yeah.
West Ham have to see this as being a completely new era. And as I alluded to just before, firstly, they need to hope for the good of the club and the history of the club and, as I say, the history going forward and wanting to attract sponsors, that David Sullivan does prove himself innocent of the allegations, which he says he is innocent of. If not, that will be a massive stain on the club because of the 16 years he's been in charge. So that's what they need to do first. They need to hope that happens. But they also need this to be the start of a new era under Daniel Kretinsky. And they need to move forward. They need to invest, and they need to make sure that West Ham are seen and are judged on being the club which everybody knew them to be for many years. I mean, up until John Lyle left the club and Lou Macari came in the late 1980s, West Ham had been in existence over 100 years and had 5 managers. With West Ham now have a situation where they go through 2 managers a season. I mean, I know to a certain extent that's the changing face of football, but West Ham have always had a tradition. I'm not just going on about this West Ham way that Sam Allardyce always went on about, or other football fans go on about. It's far more than that. It's a tradition of bringing through young players. It's a tradition of having the club and the fans all on the same page, and that to a certain extent is what Daniel Kretinsky's first job on tomorrow morning needs to be. It needs to be, how do I get this fan base and this football club reunited? Now, it's a job that many other football clubs have had in the last few years, but it's a job which is desperately needed at West Ham.
Yeah.
It's number one on his list to do things, because without the fans and the club being united, you're never going to go anywhere.
Well said, Moose. Listen, thanks for coming on this morning, and
Cheers,
have a good
Moose.
Sunday.
No problem, thanks.
All the best. Seeing Moose Abrahams, our talkSPORT football reporter and West Ham fan, coming up next. Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it, Cass.
Oh, who's coming?
Another Scotland fan will be with us next. Good morning.
wipes. The lot of yous. Absolute wet wipes. Oh, he wore a PSG top. Oh, he jumped around. Do you know what? If it happened again tomorrow, I would do it again tomorrow. Up the Chelsea. Here we go. There she There she is. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that bad boy.
He took it too far, Dino. He took it too far. He took it too far. Up the PSG. Up the PSG. Up the Champions League. Up the Chelsea. Oh, Cundy, you legend. We absolutely love you. Everyone loves you. Sports Bar loves you. The people love you. The Arsenal fans hate you. But who cares? Who cares? You've done it for everyone. Apart from that Chelsea lot. Apart from that Arsenal lot. Eh? Up the Champions League. And Arsenal absolutely bottled it. They bottled it. And I was so glad that he done what he done. And he took it too far. But we love it. And I'm going to sit here. I'm going to eat my croissants. I'm going to eat my cheese. And I'm going to enjoy myself. And Gabby, you absolute legend. You legend, Gabby. You come in, you stepped up for the Sports Bar, and that's what we do.
They won the league by 7 points, though.
No one cares, Dean. No one cares. They won the Premier League before.
There's a Carlton Cole, yeah.
He's going for it.
we've had a bit of a Scottish loving today. Carlton Cole has released an England song ahead of the World Cup, which we have to say sounds great.
Yeah, I think that's decent. Yeah, it's good. He's done all right there.
I actually feel myself I could get into this song, like as a Scottish fan.
It's catchy.
Yeah. Here we go. Go on, Carlton. We were with Carlton on breakfast the other day, and he made everyone laugh, and Cass nearly crashed his car because he said he really liked Scotland. He said he wouldn't mind wearing a kilt at some point.
Yeah.
And I said, well, are you going to go true Scotsman? Which is like, knee underwear. And he said, I might hang a bit low for that.
I was driving the car, and honestly, I said I nearly crashed because I couldn't stop laughing now because I could feel you blushing.
I was burning.
I could feel it as you were like, oh.
I need to grow up.
And was he smiling when he said it?
Oh, yeah, he was quite chuffed with himself, he was. Carlton Cole song. We said it'd be nice to try and get Carlton to number one, wouldn't it, for a World Cup. Some of your headlines this morning, of course, we were talking about the Epsom Derby yesterday. That was just an amazing story because Christmas Day won.
Yes, yeah.
In the middle of June. Start of June. I actually was like, what month is it? Where are we? Some of your headlines: Mira Andreeva sealed her maiden Grand Slam title at the French Open at the age of 19 with a 6-3, 6-2 victory over Polish qualifier Maja Walinska. And after qualifying in third, Ferrari driver Lewis Hamilton says he will need the best start we've ever had to have a realistic chance of challenging for victory in Sunday's Monaco Grand Prix. And Rafael Leao was shown the second red card of his career after he was sent off in Portugal's 2-1 win over Chile last night, with Bruno Fernandes shining. Rory Jennings and Adi Oladipo spoke on Friday about how they think Portugal have one of the best midfields in World Cup history.
I did a World Cup combined 11, a midfield of every single player going to the tournament, and I had an all Portuguese midfield.
I think it's one of the deepest midfields in World Cup history. I'm going that far. Vitinha, Neves, Bruno Fernandes,
and Bernardo
Silva.
It's ridiculous.
That's a joke.
Average. No, it's pretty good.
A lot of good footballers there. Yeah, it's certainly definitely a great midfield. Yeah, without doubt.
Are we underrating Portugal in this tournament?
No, I don't think so. I think they'll. I don't think they'll win it. I've seen them. Actually, like Diaz is obviously at the heart of their defence. He's had a bit of a troubled season in and out of the team at Man City. By the way, Leao deserved to be sent off. I mean, he's literally just grabbed hold of an opponent, and it's a bit of a strange one. I don't know. I'll be interested. I think they'll be good to watch because obviously they've got so many good footballers. I just don't know that centre forward role and what happens and how that works. I'm not quite sure because obviously Ronaldo's been that man for years, hasn't he?
Well, you would imagine a lot depends on Ronaldo whether they start him or not. I mean, 41.
Yeah. It's a tough one because everyone's going to judge him on what he's doing in the Saudi League, which he still had an amazing record and done well and scored goals. But it's a much difference now between what Ronaldo is nowhere near the player he was 5 years ago, rightly so at 41. But he's still a talent that they rely on.
Yeah. In fact, I haven't really thought about Portugal for this World Cup, but maybe they could be a wee dark horse.
Oh, well, they're definitely midfield-wise, they've got a lot of great players. So, yeah.
Are you still thinking France favourites for you?
France would be my favourites because I just think they've got so much talent in depth. And that's the one area I'm not quite sure who will be the French midfield because N'Golo Kante's been selected. Also, they've, you look at their midfield and Chouameni, what will he be like? I'm not so sure. They've got the boy who was at Marseille. I can't remember his name. Begins with F. I forgot his name. But anyway, they've got a side that I think their midfield is their weakest part of their team.
Right. Okay. Okay. What about this?
Rabiot. I was thinking. That was it. I'm saying F. It's Rabiot.
Close.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Let's focus on this amazing story, Cass. Scotland fan Craig Ferguson has been trekking across the US, aiming to raise £1 million for mental health charities before the World Cup. The total journey will see him cross 18 states, averaging a marathon a day for 104 consecutive days, having started in LA, and he's timed to arrive in Boston on the 14th of June for Scotland's opener against Haiti. Last night he did the coin toss before Scotland's game against Bolivia, and he's here with us now. Good morning to you, Craig Ferguson. How you feeling?
Hi, Craig.
Morning, guys. How are we? How are you doing?
Great.
It's quite early here, so forgive me if I'm a little tired.
Craig, I was playing a bit of a trick because I said, is it Washington, D.C. or is it Washington State? And obviously I knew it was the state because you would have crossed all them other states to get to where you got to.
That's right. Yeah. So it's about state number 17, I believe we're on now. So just a couple left. The end is in sight. I'm almost there, but last push now.
Well, Washington, D.C. would be a bit of a stroll compared to what you did when you started off in L.A.
It probably would have been, definitely would have been a lot quicker. I think I would have had that done in about 15 to 20 days rather than the 3-month-long challenge that I've seen me taking on so far. But it's been one hell of a journey to get this far. We've raised an incredible amount of money for a cause that's so close to my heart. And the reward is getting to see Scotland playing at a World Cup. And after yesterday's friendly, that's looking more appealing now.
Yeah, I mean, Craig, fair play to you. I mean, it's 4:30 in the morning there just now. You've been doing this this for quite a long time. And I remember the day you set off, because you wouldn't have seen it, but over here you were all over the news. You were in all the daytime TV shows and everybody was talking about you. How has this journey been? And it must be incredibly lonely at times and incredibly like, just let this be over with.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, with a challenge this long, that's always going to be the case, you know, across the entire duration. You'd be delusional to think that you come out here and every day is extremely fun, especially with walking, you know, 35 miles every single day to 40 miles. But it has been the hardest thing I've ever done, both mentally and physically, but it's all for that cause. And every single day when I'm having those low moments, when I'm having the moments when I'm like, God, why am I doing this? Having to pry myself out of bed at 5 a.m. every morning, that's when it really, you know, hammers home, you know, why I'm doing this. And when you know you've got the full support of Scotland back home and you've got the nation on your back, or even a small part of it, that's all the motivation that I need to keep going and get up every morning to make this happen.
So tell us some of the spectacular things you've seen along the way, because all them states you've gone across, different climates. So just tell us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're so right. I think the different climates is something that I definitely had to get used to. I mean, the last time I've done any challenge, even slightly similar, was when I walked over to Germany for the Euros in 2024. But America has so many different climates. I mean, a Scotsman walking through the Mojave Desert, those two words shouldn't even go hand in hand. So having to deal with heat, etc. there. I'd say the craziest thing that I seen was probably tornadoes in Kansas and the Midwest of America. It's known as Tornado Alley, and trying to combat tornadoes and figure out when and where you can walk and stuff like that. That was just such a strange experience. But there's been lots of different things in America that have took a Scotsman a while to get used to, as you can imagine. But to be honest, I think it's probably them that's still getting used to seeing a man in a kilt walking through their towns.
Go, that's that guy. That's that guy who's trending on social media. How many people are you with, Craig?
There's literally just me and my best mate who are out here. It's not a big team. I think that's why also the pride runs so deep with these challenges and how much we end up raising. You know, I think some people might look at this and assume, oh, it's a big, massive, you know, mission. There's a huge team, but that's not the reality of it. There's two of us boots on ground. My big pal Matthew, who I've known since 4 years old, who quit everything, quit his job to come out and join me to support me with driving the RV, and I get up and walk every morning. So look, that's what, you know, fills me with so much pride. One day when I look back at this challenge and think of what we've managed to accomplish, I say that was just two mates, boots on the ground in America, who managed to go and make a little bit of history.
Do you know your number yet, what you're trying to achieve, or how you're going in what you've raised for mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ambitious target that I set was £1 million to try and raise, and currently, having about 5 days left, we are sat on about £370,000. So a huge amount of money so far. Look, the £1 million is still a good bit away, but I believe anything's possible, and I'm no walking across the entirety of one of the biggest countries in the world and then saying that anything's impossible. So I still think it's doable, and if anyone listening, you know, wants to support in any way and wants to go and donate, because even a pound collectively makes a massive difference, visit www.thetartantrek.co.uk, or they can follow me on all social medias. It's Craig Ferguson_1 on there, and they can click the link in my bio.
thetartantrek.co.uk. I'm going to go on and I'm going to donate, because I've seen it, I've seen your clips, I've been watching you, and now I'm talking to you and thinking, this strong young man has been doing this on his own for 100 blooming days. So fair play to you. That's absolutely incredible. And yesterday must have been a bit of a reward as well, getting to do the toying costs for Scotland against Bolivia. How did that come about?
Oh, it was so surreal, to be honest with you. It's actually not even set in that I'd done that yesterday. But yeah, I mean, thanks to some amazing people out here in America who were chatting with the sort of stadium organisers, etc. I got told, yep, you're gonna be doing the coin toss. But I was so nervous, man. I was in the RV, like practicing flipping a coin for a bit of day. But I mean, it was an amazing experience. I got to chat very briefly with some of the players, etc. But before sort of heading off on this last leg now. So it's gave me that extra little kick. And like I said, a 4-0 win as well also fills me with confidence that I'm not going to be walking for nothing on that first game against Haiti.
Oh, good for you, Craig.
Great
Listen,
stuff,
it's so
Craig.
good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Final stretch. How many more How many more marathons have you got to go, basically? How many more till you get to Boston?
I think it's only 7 more now. Seven more out of 120 marathons. So yeah, it's nothing.
Wow.
It's the last little leg.
That's it. You've got it now. Listen, the final stretch. We're thinking of you. We'll see you in Boston. Sam and I are going to be there, so we will come and watch you arrive in Boston. Looking forward to it. Okay.
Yeah. We'll both drop something into you.
Yeah, definitely. Well done. That's Craig Ferguson. Take care of yourself. Get back to bed. Get a quick rest before you set off again, okay?
Cheers, Craig.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It's just like, and fair play to him. Look, him and his mate have gone, trekked all that way. And, the amount of, sometimes you can get a bit flippant and, some people do amazing things. 120 marathons. It's mind-boggling.
I know. And aiming to get 1 million, but is it £330,000? Just to give you that website again, thetartantrek.co.uk, thetartantrek.co.uk. Like you said, £1 collectively can make a big difference. He's doing this for mental health charities. That's one man walking from Washington all the way to Boston. It's taken him about 104 days. So good luck to you, Craig. We'll see you in Boston, and let's hope we get a win against Haiti. That would be good. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll test Cass's geography knowledge. Lucky it ain't mine.
Oh.
Perez, for his part, has promised he'll appoint Jose Mourinho as manager if he's elected.
She's done it already.
Well, that's what he wants to do, but he's got to get elected to make it official. Riquelme, meantime, for his part, is saying no to Mourinho. He's promised to make Madrid legend Raul his sporting director and will not appoint Mourinho. He says, if I win the elections, I will bring to Real Madrid a superstar manager, the biggest manager you can imagine. Jose Mourinho is not that manager. He promised also, and this is where it gets interesting, to sign Manchester City midfielder Rodri, as well as Erling Haaland, and then held up a Madrid shirt with Haaland's name on the back of it. And one would think that Manchester City are none too happy about that. Is it arrogant in a presidential race like this for one of the hopefuls to promise something that he doesn't really know if he can deliver?
Very good morning to you. Welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. We're talking about Christmas Day winning on the Ipswich derby yesterday. Christmas Day won, but a construction worker has won big after he followed a 62-year-old horse racing tip found in a time capsule hidden in a South London park. This story's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, the capsule, which included 4 old coins, had a handwritten note, was discovered underneath a statue during renovation work in Crystal Palace Park. The spooky note, dated 1964, said the coins were winnings from a horse called Santa Claus that ran that year, and it urged the finder to back the horse associated with that name, which of course was Christmas Day, ran yesterday. The site manager, Josh Smalls, followed tipsters' advice and put £20 on a horse called Christmas Day, and it romped to victory 7-1 odds on Saturday.
Yeah, brilliant.
I can't count what would he have won, but that's...
How much do you have again on 7-1?
£20.
140.
Oh, that's nice then. Oh, it didn't change his life then though, did it?
Well, not really, but it might have been handy for him.
How weird that you
7-1, you times it by 7, £20.
Have you ever like a capsule?
Oh, what?
Find a capsule with things like that in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my second wife,
Oh,
Mum,
going into the capsule, eh?
she found a very famous artist painting. She bought it, and I went to Hong Kong with my missus at the time, and we sold it. Oh, not we, because it's nothing to do with me, but $100,000 in I think was it Hong Kong? Got about $100,000 for it at the Mum. She bought it for thousands, a couple of thousand. And she got about $100,000 for it.
Did you get a cut in the divorce?
And it was a Gauguin,
Oh.
who was a very famous artist, but it was obviously one of his lesser paintings because Gauguins go for a lot more than that.
Very nice. Very nice. That's a nice little earner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you ever watch the Antiques Roadshow when they...
Yeah, I've done.
They find out
it.
how
Yeah, I
much
do love it. Yeah, it's
something's worth,
great.
yeah.
When people find out what they've won, it's brilliant. You know, it's just brilliant. It's like people, and sometimes the disappointment of thinking they're going to get a load more and they don't. That's just as
You've
funny.
got a fake there, and they're like, oh, okay.
Or you know, it's just unfortunately it's a little bit damaged, or this one was a bit more common.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, like records.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you go back to old vinyls, some of the more obscure there was only limited editions and worth way more than a well-known band, because the well-known band's albums would have sold hundreds of thousands or millions. So they're not as valuable as someone who'd sold very few.
True.
And they get way more money.
Nice. By the way, the latest episode of How to Win the World Cup is live for you now. We've got Matt Ford, comedian Jacob Hawley. They're sitting down with England legend John Barnes to talk about England's chances this summer and if Thomas Tuchel can lead the Three Lions to the World Cup. Here's John Barnes. He dismisses the idea that England have underachieved at previous tournaments.
You know, it does feel like, I don't know, you just feel like we've underachieved, I guess.
We've maximised our potential. How could we underachieve? When we finished second, we were not the number 2 team in the world. How is that underachieving? Whenever have we been the best team in the world to win the World Cup? How have we underachieved?
You're making him miserable now. You're making him upset.
How have we underachieved?
We should have beaten Italy in that Euros final.
And other teams should have beaten us. We should have beaten Germany in the semi-final. 90. We played better than Germany. Belgium should have beaten us before. Cameroon should have beaten us before. They were 2-0 up. But we don't remember that, do we? So
no, that doesn't suit my argument.
Exactly. There you go. So what we've done is, if you are the number 4 team in the world and you get to the semi-final, you haven't underachieved.
He makes a good point.
Well, he does, but I'm always, some of them winners had, some of the teams he mentioned had won World Cups and had great players, great individuals, which I said yesterday.
It's the expectation, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's an expectation.
I said to you yesterday, there's about eight countries that go in believing they can win it.
Yeah. And as Tuchel said, it's so measured to fake it others recently. They're contenders. He sees them as being contenders. I think England will win.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to the last 8, and normally it's the very top end.
Mm-hmm.
You'll always get that wild card that gets in there. But generally, the top nations in world football, at least five, maybe 6 of them will get there.
Yeah.
Who you expect to. Whether it's Spain, France, England, Brazil, Argentina, and others. Maybe Portugal. There'll be teams that will get in there regularly.
How to Win the World Cup is live for you now with England legend John Barnes. You can listen to it wherever you get your podcast, or you can listen to it on the talkSPORT app or on the talkSPORT World Cup YouTube channel. Now, my geography was miles off it. Yes, it was on a level with Gabby Agbon-Lahore. Maybe it was worse. So we're going to put Cass's knowledge to the test with a bit of this. Yes, we're going to do Cass's capital cities.
Right.
World Cup edition. You are smart. Let me remind you that. Like, you know a lot. I don't know if it's just because you've been on the planet
some really
longer.
odd things. I'm always not bad at real obscure stuff. So.
Oh, I need to be able to pronounce these words as well, Sam, so help me along. This is where we see if Cass knows his Honduras La Vela from Zagreb. What? Let's start. Oh, is A to Z.
Oh, A to Z.
That's why you're smart as well, Sam. There's a brain in there. Let's start with an easy one to warm you up this afternoon in Tampa. Cass, can you name the capital cities from the 3 host nations?
What, Mexico City? Mexico.
Well, A, USA.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Washington, D.C.
3 host nations and the 3 capitals. Right.
We got Mexico City.
Yep.
For Mexico. Yeah.
Yep.
And you got Washington, D.C.
Yep.
And where are we? Canada.
Yep.
We're Canada. Ontario. No, Ottawa.
Well done. Ottawa. Very good.
Ontario is where I went. It's Ottawa.
Right, you're cooking with gas. Here we go. There are 48 nations taking part. What's the highest number of nations to have ever taken part in the competitions? 48 is the maximum number. La Paz in Bolivia is the highest capital city in the world with an 11,975 foot. Oh, that's high, but they didn't qualify for the World Cup. I want to know the name of the second highest capital city in the world, which also happens to be the capital of Ecuador.
Ecuador?
Capital of Ecuador.
Ecuador is Port-au-Prince, isn't it? The capital? Port-au-Prince?
No.
Prince?
No.
Is that not Ecuador?
No, I believe you have failed the test and the rest is over for you.
What, of Ecuador?
Well, see if he's right and I'm wrong.
Sug? Is it like S-U-C?
It's Quito.
Oh, Quito. All right,
Oh,
okay. All right.
God.
So
dang it.
which one's Port-au-Prince?
I don't know. Right, Tash.
Haiti, that was why I was
Haiti, there you go.
That's why I was thinking of Scotland. No. Go on.
All right, try another one. Brazil won the World Cup the last time that the USA hosted the competition. What's the name of their capital city?
Brasilia.
Oh, well done.
Well, it's hard, isn't it? People go Rio all the time.
I was just going to go, is it not Rio?
No, Brasilia.
What did Gabby say was the capital of Argentina? Buenos Dias.
Buenos Dias.
And that's why we love Gabby on the horn. That's good. You're good at your capitals.
I'm not bad. I know a few, especially South American, from Chile, Santiago, and all things like that. And Peru is Lima.
You'll go far. This is my last show with you.
I know.
You'll enjoy the next few weeks.
You're going to have a great time, I'm sure, Shebahn.
We'll be with a smart man who's England daft. Max Scott will be with you.
Yeah, but look at him. Max he's even taller than me, so I'll be looking up to Matt. He's 6'5", Matt, and he's 6'5", 6'6".
Massive, and you're a big guy, but Max is way taller.
He's bigger than me, way bigger than me.
You'll be like,
I won't be able to tell him off.
Well, little man, get the coffees in, Cass. We'll see you then in a few weeks' time. Looking forward to it. And I'll speak to you from America instead.
Yeah, well, you're going to come on?
I'll find you. I'll come on and speak to you. That'll be very nice. Listen, enjoy yourself. A lovely Sunday. And thank you for all your messages today, all your memories of World Cups as well. It's very, very nice. Next time I speak to you, it'll be from Charlotte, North Carolina. Looking forward to it. Enjoy the World Cup. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Cass is back next Saturday with Max Scott. This is the Weekend Sports Breakfast. And the Sunday edition is on the way next with Sean Custis and Darren Lewis.
It's the promise.